welcome back to Nat19. So
Finish it.
You keep going.
76.
Commit to the bit, Deacon.
Finish it.
The gauntlets, the Auntlets of Gogre Strahd.
Oh, god damn it.
Keep going.
That's all I'm gonna do now.
Oh, you don't know the rest? All
I
right.
actually don't.
Welcome back, everybody. Still trying to raise money to possibly replace a headset if anybody wants to give in bits or whatnot to help with
I
that.
didn't want to do that part
Yeah.
because like I'm not here to shell your completely legitimate problems.
Cool. I'm gonna roll a dice and I'm gonna see who's gonna give us the recap. But it's not gonna be Diane and it's not gonna be Lancer.
Yay!
I said it's not gonna be Lancer.
Hooray.
It's not gonna be Lancer.
Hooray.
It's not gonna be Lancer. It's not gonna be Lancer. It's not gonna be Lancer. Malaclips, go!
Oh, go back to that. Okay.
Jesus, how many threes can I roll?
Oh my god, you're serious.
When last we left our intrepid us, we were separated into two different groups. One thing happened in one group that I have no idea what happened. The other group, which I was a part of, however, went into Caster's reality marble. The place that we had all gone to whenever we were in the Incinerator campaign, where Gisei was there. It was really nice. But we had gone there and we were fighting Ichiro, who was trying his best to get the final command seal used so that he could ascend into the Durgan, which, you know, on one level, it's like, you know, we were trying really hard to have her say it as well, or him say it, or them say it as well, but it went on for a decent little bit there, us trying to just kind of get them to actually do it. And then whenever they did it, they used the command seal to have Caster summon his sword, which was the one sword that he deemed himself unworthy to wield because of tragic backstory.
It's true.
He asked for someone to wield it, and someone who is pure of heart, and everyone was like, who could possibly be the goodest boy to do the goodest of goodestness? And Malacus is like, yeah, I don't know who, maybe Suzume. And Suzume's just like, pick the fucking sword up. So, so Malacos picked the sword up. It's really nice and cool, and I love it. We finished off Ichiro as he grew into this like dragonoid, almost like form of his, and completely went back into the main world. Not before, unfortunately, Ichiro also used his own command seal to tell Caster to kill himself. Caster, unfortunately, during that entire thing, was holding on as much as he could to make sure the sword got brought through, but R.I.P. Caster. He's a good boy.
Who is no longer in the background.
No longer in the background. He's been faded out. Just like everyone else.
Oh,
However,
little
when we
did we
came
know.
back and the others were done with whatever the fuck they were doing, we met up with the remainder of the dials. They were started to talk about how they are kind of tired of doing things and they want to kind of just live their lives now that they're able to, and disband the remainder of the Dial clan. Potentially going with Malacos at the end of all of this and having him teach them how to live, which is very strange to him. Caster had a deep conversation with Suzume, letting her know why he felt he could never use that blade, and letting her know his tragic backstory. Jiro and they just both left. Unfortunately, we tried talking to him, and he's just like, yep. He was answering us, but like his token was moving further and further away. We didn't know if we wanted to stay in the same room or if we wanted to go and check on whatever other treasures maybe in the other part. At least, you know, several of us wanted to go into the other part, but we didn't get to. But we all found our way out, which was a lot easier to go out than to stay in. The storm is still raging on the outside. We had climbed out of the hole, which has now destroyed even more of the place around us, and we found a Orla off in a small cabin, a little bit off in the snow, and that's where we're heading right now. We're heading off to speak with the Orla.
It's true. Also, so here, two things. You definitely took over 2 minutes, but
I was gonna
definitely,
say.
that's fine.
but here's the thing about how that's gonna go. I'm still gonna give an inspiration
Yay!
to Buddy.
Ah.
Why?
Oh? Why?
Why? What's wrong?
Because you
Oh,
see,
evil him.
because you see, Buddy, your birthday is coming up,
Oh yeah.
and we have a thing that we occasionally do on the birthdays, which you might remember on the birthdays, which is today, in today's game, anytime anyone rolls a Nat19, the inspiration is going to go to Buddy. Unless Buddy has maximum inspiration.
Neat.
Buddy, you will also be allowed, Buddy,
Reminding
to,
him of
to
the
throw your
fact-
inspiration at other people if you wish to.
Hey, buddy, can I have an inspiration?
No.
Spencer, can I have an inspiration?
No.
I will
It's
also,
my birthday that I forgot about.
I-
and I'm
I wasn't a part of.
and I will
As
also
your friend, I would never ask you for such a thing.
Does
Spence.
somebody want
That's
to
good.
recap some
Not
stuff that
giving
happened that I wasn't a part of?
What?
Spencer.
Does somebody want to recap the stuff that I wasn't a part of?
Want to recap it?
Yeah, Buddy, recap the stuff that happened that they weren't there for at the start.
All right. Well, at the start,
Very short.
we started to Diane healed Jiro. He freaked out a little bit, and then we told him, what was up. That, it was we didn't actually kill and Nordico. He's like, what? No, that's ridiculous. And we got that all sorted out, and then David asked who the Shigure guy was, and then he was like, "Oh, that's Setsuko's daddy." And Dave was like, "Cool, I'll be right back." As he went to go put back the kimono that he took.
Good.
That's pretty much what happened.
Wait, you took back the thing?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, put it back.
All right. Also, Buddy, I'm going to remove the inspiration cap for you today. Anything exceeding 3 past today will disappear after game.
Sure.
So
Hand them off to people.
Hand it off, bitch.
But for today, you will be allowed more inspiration than 3.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thank you, my boy.
You're very welcome, and happy birthday. Upcoming.
Such birthday.
Totally forgot about my own birthday. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
You celebrated it early. They were like, "What do you fucking mean?"
So,
What do you mean? I'm already 20. Wait, no, I'm not.
Wait, no.
so
Technically.
it is 4:30 in the AM currently, July 7th, Wednesday, 1920.
It's my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Okay, well, what do we do now?
It's my birthday.
It is cloudy. There's a light snow, very light, but consistent snow. The wind is mostly gone by this point. You guys were approaching, you went a bit of the ways up the side of the mountain. Took you like 20-30 minutes to ultimately get up to where you're going, and you got to one of the cabins that had not been sunk into the river, that had a light on inside. I believe Malaclips, you were the one of you checked.
It was
David.
David.
David. You saw Orla inside, you brought the others there. So you guys will open the game approaching the cabin. It is on a bit of a plateau, like there's some flat land around it, but the mountainside surrounding it is mostly relatively steep. You have to effectively follow paths that have been built into it to properly get up the mountain. In snowy condition, if you try to just climb the side of the mountain, you would more than likely fall, except for Malaclips because of his boots. And you guys are good to go. It's like a 2-3 room cabin. It's like a small house, this one.
It's cold.
All right.
Cold and slate. I'm tired.
And I'm done with everyone's shit, apparently.
According to this art.
According to this art, I am just over it.
So,
Are we in the cabin now, or are we approaching the
You
cabin?
guys were approaching. I'm leaving you off at that point. It is.
David will like sort of stay in the back just since it's more of a twin thing. So.
Diane would like to wave.
We need to get inside.
At the house?
Oh!
We need to
Oh,
get you guys
it's
inside.
Yeah.
I know
it's
it's hard.
fucking
Let's
freezing.
just go. Let's just go.
Yep.
Go, go, go.
Like steps towards the door.
You guys notice how much good in the world there is?
Malcolms,
No.
now's not the time, okay? I know you got one, but I'm about to lose mine, so how about you just, okay?
Yeah, are
It's a
you?
little testy right now.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, let's
All
go.
right. So you guys approach the cabin. How do you guys choose to enter? Do you choose to knock on it? You choose to just go into it?
I just open the door.
Knocking on.
I'm not
Orla's
knocking. I just
door.
open the door.
Opening it, the cabin door opens up into the central area of the cabin. It's one of those, like, most of it is one big room situations.
I'm home.
Inside there is a fireplace that has currently been lit that is gently illuminating Orla. Just to reiterate the description from last game, she's healed, like her body is fine, but she's mostly beat up. Like her vest is just gone, her hair is no longer tied up. Clearly the battle that she had.
Good morning, Miss
Oh my
Bannon. Sorry for the
God.
intrusion. Everybody get in.
Yeah.
Down hair Orla? Oh, why wasn't that the thumbnail? I want to see down hair Orla.
Because we've had an Orla
Oh.
thumbnail in fucking recently, and I want to cycle characters.
Are you saying that we can have enough Orla thumbnails?
Also, Miss Bannon, do you know how much good in the world? I'm kidding.
Jesus. Yes, you like your sword.
It reminded me of how much good in the world there is.
Oh.
We get it. You have the greatest sword ever forged by human hands. Could you shut up for 10 minutes?
God damn it.
It makes me feel happy.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys entering in. Orla doesn't stop you. Gives you a bit of a nod whenever you come in. She's clearly exhausted.
Same.
I just have the door open for everybody to come in.
Yep, going in.
I
Yep.
just shut it immediately after everybody's through.
Since you're all alive, I'm guessing things went okay.
Same
Yeah.
could be said for you.
Things went pretty good.
Peridot definitely could have killed me. Decided not to.
Why?
That's what we were hoping for, right?
Why? I'm guessing because it's not her war. She's seems to be something of a pacifist regarding things she doesn't have to do.
There.
I did.
How was Saber at the end of all that?
He was pretty beat up. He's gone now. She holds her hand up, one of the gloves that she would normally have, like, on her arms, one of the wrapped, like, working gloves, is just gone. It looks like it was destroyed. There's, like, a little shred of the fabric still, like, around her arm that now looks like a bracelet, but where her command seals would be, you see there's now nothing.
Gone,
Oh, wow.
as in...
Yeah. Define.
During the fight, I had to use one command seal to prevent something from accidentally killing me, but I used the other two to do what I said I would. I did that around midnight. I could not,
How long do we have left?
You've got about 20 hours where Saber can't bother you. Of the 3 commands, the one that I chose to omit, and you'll be happy about this, is Boobadoop. I had told him... I did, because I couldn't use all 3 commands, I omitted the Do Not Harm Orla Fannin command. So, he still has to stay away from me for 24 hours unless I give him permission, and he can't harm any of you for 24 hours.
How did
he
he feel about
how
this?
did he take
Are you
that?
gonna be okay?
I had sent him to pick some things up from the mansion, and then bring them back to me, and then when I got back, he basically just left. I didn't actually use the commands on him while he was here. I tried to tell him what I was going to do, and he just seemed to want to leave. Well, didn't seem angry.
Do you feel like you're in danger?
Mm-mm. He left like a man that had done his job. He seemed satisfied. I think that he understood what we were doing.
probably
good
the
to
best
hear.
we could hope for, honestly.
That's why I was comfortable not ordering him not to harm me. Saber's always been fiercely loyal to me. I think that even without my command seals, I don't think he'd ever have a reason to hurt me.
Still, we appreciate you taking that risk. You didn't really have to do that.
The lot of you are making this a lot easier for me. I'd rather not fight against Quantavius and Ryder if I had to, and I'd rather not fight against your servants at this point if I didn't have to. So, this is an easy out for me. I owe you. I
I don't.
We appreciate everything you're doing, Miss Fannin.
I also had considered while you were gone, and this is why I had him go pick some things up, that even though I do hold on to that, well, I might have overreacted, I did have good reasons for doing what I did. I never technically paid you for your work for me and Adelia. So I've decided to provide some compensation for that. Good.
Single eyebrow raise.
Did you send money to Stonewalker because you never paid her? Anyway.
It's fucking true. Dude, I like I like to
I mean,
scream.
technically, the only thing she promised Stonewalker was to see your dad, so it doesn't matter.
Could I... She, like, motions towards the case that you normally carry the gear blade in.
My big guitar case.
At this point, our contract is in effect. It's better that we deal with it now.
Yeah, how is everybody by the up? Looks away.
I,
What?
Why do you looks away from Diane?
Specifically Diane.
Why?
She's got really torn up clothes.
She has really torn up and wet clothes.
That's
And that
fair.
wet clothes are white clothes.
It's true. We're never gonna forget that that's a white shirt, Diane.
I've noticed.
And it's cold.
And it's cold.
Yeah. Fucking freezing. So Jesus.
Go by the fire, Diane.
Does Diane have thaumaturgy?
No.
Does she have prestidigitation?
I think so.
She's
Yes.
gonna warm herself up.
God.
Jean's just gonna keep himself looking. Man, this ceiling was really nicely made. There's just so much good in the world.
Oh my god.
That's how you know Saber's not around, because he's not commenting on that.
There's so much good in the world in this ceiling in this room.
So what happened? That. No, I'm not gonna walk into this. Never mind. We were split up for a little bit towards the end of the fight.
How did the fight go? How are the Dial Clan doing? Are they
Probably
dead?
better now that they know Yuno and Noriko actually aren't dead. We managed to defeat the clan without killing any of them, which, in my opinion, is well, except for Ichiro.
Oh
We
yeah.
But I
did have
guess-
to kill
yeah.
Ichiro.
But I think that was inevitable, so I personally take that as a victory.
I don't regret doing it, but it is still. I didn't
Emotionally
like doing it
exhausting.
either.
Yeah. I can't imagine, especially with your history with them. That must have really sucked.
Dude, Isla's like looking back and forth between you guys and Orla, like, why are you fucking telling her? Like, not saying
Orla's
anything
very
out
much
loud,
sitting
but
there,
she's
just like
looking
she's
at you
not,
like,
she's not. She did ask, so she's not contradicting anything. But there is kind of this look of every time you say a name, she gives like a slight like like
Like, yeah.
it's very. I have
What
the
are
most
these
basic of
names?
information. Wait, Noriko and Yuno got away. Is that bad?
No, it's
Like she's not saying any of
Yeah.
that, but just there's a look of like, okay, they're better off for it. Okay.
I personally, I wasn't going into this planning to cause harm to any of the clan members that we didn't need to.
She looks back at the case with the gear blade in it.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. Let's take care of this.
Yeah. Puts a hand on
Damn,
either
2
shoulder.
7s.
You
Magic number.
you ready?
As I'll ever be, I guess.
Okay.
Takes Gear Blade out of guitar.
You hand her the.
Yeah.
I assume you.
I don't know what to do, so just like here, I just give her the entire sword.
You hand her the admittedly very large weapon, and she uses magic to conjure up. Seems to project some basic mechanics tools, screwdrivers, wrenches, that sort of thing. Takes it and goes over to a table that's in the that is in the cabin, sets it down, and she starts working to take apart the motor at the center of it. Clearly looking for the singular gear that is within it that she needs to get. As she does, she takes a duffel bag that is underneath said table, and she, with her foot, slides it across the floor over towards you, Isla.
What do you want me to do? What is this?
Compensation for Adelia.
I look in the bag.
It's a family heirloom that I say heirloom, more like a family spoil of war from back when we earned our freedom that I've never had any reason to use, and nobody in our family has ever had any reason to use.
It's like compensation for Adelia. You open it up, you see Gearfree's head.
I am.
My list.
Whenever you constructed your gear blade, you made use of magic that was already inside of it, and you ended up settling onto a great sword. I would imagine that that's because there are blueprints within it that already talk about making a weapon like that. The reason for that is those blueprints are based off of a weapon that our former slave driver owned, called the Spark of Trickery. You can have it if you want. It should be an okay replacement for this.
Oh.
Orla,
Okay.
The one thing you notice is this duffel bag is not great sword sized, like in any regard. It's relatively small.
I'm gonna like try to pull this stuff that's in the duffel bag out.
Opening
also,
it,
like looking at Ian like, what the fuck is going on?
opening
Shrugs.
opening it, you see inside there is what looks like a sword handle with a blade that it looks too blunt to be able to cut anything, and it's only about the size of like a little bit shorter than a short sword. The handle is weirdly compressed in. And it's an admittedly boxy looking weapon that looks more like a small club than it does a sword.
Okay.
This is a great sword.
Yeah, she's like holding it like it's not as cool as my gear blade. like,
She snaps her fingers, and as she does, she just utters, "Don't protest." But she says it with a very specific tone, not like she's saying it to you. As she does, the handle unfurls as if it was collapsible, extending out to like 2 or 3 times the size it was. The blade, which I'm just going to assume for the sake of narrative is pointed away from you, unfurls, and clockwork mechanisms inside of it begin to change and unravel. And effectively, the smaller blade transforms and becomes a very long, sleek, greatsword-sized blade with a whole bunch of very old-looking etchings and clockwork patterns built into it. The transformation is almost like a Michael Bay's Transformers effect in how intricate it is.
Hell yeah.
It's effectively what it is. You see that once it's fully unfolded, you realize that the boxy hilt had been just all of the matter that would become the rest of the blade had been like condensed into the shape of a box. You see there is slots in the handle that look like they might generally fit something the size of the extracts. They look like fuel imports, not of the same kind yours did. It doesn't have like a motor the same way the other one did, but it does look like it is some sort of rudimentary thing. You do see in the cracks of the blade there are very small gears and mechanics inside of it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this onto your sheet here and tell you what it does. And you don't got to attune to this. I don't believe. One sec.
There we go. Finally got over a 10.
So the Spark of Trickery. The Spark of Trickery is a, it says +3 down there. It's a +2 Clockwork Greatsword. It can, as a bonus action, it can be folded up into a size that's no larger than a short sword, so you can carry it around more conveniently now. It also works as a flame tongue, so if you tell it to as a bonus action, it can erupt into fire, doing 2d6 more fire damage, which your other greatsword could do, but now this one won't cause madness. You can also, twice per short or long rest, you can also use it to cast Fireball as an action as if it were 5th level. The DC for that is 18. If you're a unless you're a spellcaster, in which case you use your DC +2. As long as you have it, you can also treat it as if Fireball was on your spell list. And you can cast it, but it always has to be cast with a 5th level or higher spell slot, and it will only ever count as a 5th level spell no matter what spell slot you use. Also, because it's a clockwork weapon, you can fire a chunk of the blade as a ranged attack. You have to retrieve it afterwards, but there's a central part of the blade that can fire up to 25 feet, doing the normal damage plus 1d8, but if you don't retrieve it, that is just gone.
Get over here!
So that's, it's a magic weapon, it compresses, it does 2d8 +2 slashing damage plus your strength. That's the Spark of Trickery.
Oh, yeah.
Crimbus. Yes, I'm happy now. Shut up.
I had thought that it would be... Part of me wanted to give you that to repay you, and another part of me thought that if I'm gonna finally get this thing off of my arm, it was fitting that I got rid of the last memento of our former slave driver as well.
Oh yeah.
Guess that makes sense, yeah. Thank you, I guess. She's so fucking awkward.
Orla is, at this point, she hasn't, like, looked at you since she passed that over to you. She's just been focusing on taking apart the gear blade. At this point, you hear a large clunk, and the table shudders as she disconnects the blade from the area around the handle, having completely removed it, and, like, pushes the blade of the gear blade to the side and is now just working on the motor.
Tsundere, the lot of
Can I pick up my gear blade? It's still a big bappy sword.
Well, no, she separated the blade. Like, the handle and motor are disconnected from the blade itself.
Okay.
Yeah, like, if you look at your picture in the UI, like, the gold part and the motor and the handle are all separated from the actual sword.
Okay.
The actual blade of it. So, yeah, that's...
Okay.
That's
That
that.
looks like a little
Hang out, gonna
staff.
work on it.
So, she's mostly just gonna go to town getting the thing that will allow her to live the rest of her life. What do you guys want to do?
How big is
look
this
away from
fucking-
me. Shit.
Is this a shack or is it like a?
It's like a cabin. It's like a place people might vacation if they want, like, to go on a riverside vacation.
Okay.
It's like,
I was like inspecting her new toy.
okay. I'm gonna very quickly throw the stuff on your sheet. Well, you guys decide what you want to do.
Hell yeah.
I would like to smoke.
Not in here.
Okay, go outside.
It's fucking freezing.
Oh, fucking sucks.
Smoke.
We know it's
Fine.
We don't know
It's
it's
1920.
Yeah. We
Please
just
let you
don't
voice
like
your
the smell.
complaints now, but never before.
Shut up. Yeah.
How
it's been
dare
like,
you.
What,
Never done
2
it
or
around
3
here
years?
before.
Over 4
She's
years.
always went
now
outside.
you have a problem with it.
Look, it's a small
Fine.
cabin. There's a lot of people in here. I don't want to smoking
Fine.
indoors.
I
also
could
normally
press
goes
digitation
outside or
the
goes
smoke
to her own
away.
room.
I think. But could I press the digitation the smoke from the cigarette? Like,
You'd have to be actively doing that constantly. I think that would probably defeat
That's
any
kind of
purpose of
annoying.
smoking it.
yeah, fine. I won't. I hope. Fine. I won't smoke. It's great. Just plops down somewhere like,
Okay.
if there's a
Okay.
nice chair to recline.
Dude, Isla's like
Just
looking
kinda-
at her sword, but she sees Diane's all huffy and like looks at Ian like fucking. Ooh.
What the hell? Oh, fuck. Hey, Diane. Why don't we go outside and smoke cigarettes like both of us do?
You don't smoke cigarettes.
He has on one occasion. In his defense, he
have?
has.
I
never
have
noticed.
definitely smoked.
A cigarette.
Yes.
And he was cool and edgy about it.
Well, I have a very different opinion of you now.
Huh. I guess you learn something new every day. This world is filled with so many good surprises.
Shut up!
I don't know if you got the memo, but we are all here to be depressed. Stop it!
This is not a fun time we're having. There is no good.
Sorry, David. No can do. Asking me not to do that right now will do you no good.
I mean, it's fucking cold outside, but I'm sensing ulterior motives, so sure.
Can you guys not just be friends?
No, it's more of like she kind of gives him like an eyebrow raise, like I feel like there's ulterior, like it's more just like a joke than like I feel like you're lying to me. You're gonna mirror.
You're gonna mirror.
I hate it when people murr.
Fine, you got me. I've never smoked before that one time.
Huh.
I feel like I've been lied to.
I mean, it surprises me to hear that.
Yeah. Not as much good in the world as you thought, huh?
No. People are allowed to lie to each other. That's what, in fact, sometimes
Have I?
it's best.
Have I shown the Elijah art on stream?
No, you haven't. You said you were going to this stream.
Right. I should do that. I just remember that. I keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
One
Which
sec.
one was he again?
Elijah was the guy
The one
that's
that
been
gave
the
the pendant.
yeah, the one that you guys bumped
Oh,
into.
okay.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah,
surprisingly
people
hot
at
grandpa.
home, I keep forgetting to share this. This is the art of the fellow that's been bumping around helping them behind the scenes, although only the once and only briefly. That's
I
Elijah,
didn't expect him to be handsome.
the man that Spooky Grandpa's after.
But
You
here
know
we are.
that he looks like Jack's disappointed dad.
He does.
But that's what's so alluring.
There's no other picture right now, so I'll just leave that up for a while. Bam.
Alright, I guess we're smoking outside in the cold.
Have fun.
Be careful.
Like, oh,
Watch out for the
smiling at
snow.
David.
Yeah, the snow.
Ha ha, Jean. Ha ha.
Oh,
Are you okay?
there we go.
Spencer, take an inspiration. Take an inspiration, Spencer. Take it.
I don't think I'm gonna be doing that.
God, what do you think? Does he get an inspiration?
For that meaningless role.
Sure. Happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
Such generosity.
I guess the world is beautiful until it's naked, huh, Jean?
Wait till they leave. Like, no, it still is.
Oh snap.
Alright, so we going outside?
I guess so.
And
David's just gonna take a nap in the corner. It's just like a short rest, basically.
Oh boy, yeah, get it.
all right, you guys are outside.
Fuck's he dreaming about?
You guys head outside.
Yep.
You got your smokes. You
I-
sure are outside.
Yep. It's it's cold.
It's fucking cold.
What a good
Hold
conversation.
him.
What a good.
It's like, oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, it's cold. Do you want my vest?
No, I don't want you to be cold. I'll be fine.
You're so fast.
Just kind of
Sorry, I'm not there.
like so. Hikes up little coat thing to be like all floofy around her face.
So just wanted to say I had a talk with my sister, and
Okay.
she said you guys had a talk recently as well.
Yeah.
And she advised me that we should maybe talk about that.
Here we are.
If that's cool. I just wanted to say we're good. Like,
Okay.
I don't want things to be weird between us.
As we're out here talking
Having
in the
this
snow.
weird conversation.
As
I
we're out
don't
here
want-
talking in this blizzard.
Go on.
God, I want to die. Cool.
I can help with that. No. No.
Anyway,
Okay.
I just I kind of wanted to say that I think you made the right call. But
Yeah.
like
I know.
Dude, you were upset. It's upset. You don't have to be a bitch about it. God damn. Fucking whatever. Role play however you want.
like I don't like, you're my friend, and I don't want you to worry that you've like emotionally devastated me in some way. I just wanted you to know.
Even if you
I'm
did.
Guys, stop talking.
I'm sorry. Okay, well, shut
You're
up.
not outside.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just really hard. He's on my mic. Fuck.
Yeah, for to chuckle. Just don't talk.
I'm sorry.
I'm really happy to hear that. I was very concerned that you might be distraught.
I mean, I kind of was for a little bit, but
Yeah.
for different reasons.
Okay.
I felt like I should be sadder than I was, but really it felt more like you were right to shut me down. I think we're better as friends.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like,
I'm
want to be
sorry
awkward.
you were upset about being fine, but I'm glad
don't-
you're fine.
I won't pretend like my brain makes sense to other people.
I'm trying. I'm putting in the effort, Ian. I'm giving it a shot.
I
think get it.
appreciate that.
I've heard about this. Fabled tales of people being fine when things don't work out. It's not necessarily something I've encountered myself up until now, but it's nice. I do care about you. I think that's kind of obvious. I would hate to see anything happen to you or anyone else in our group. And I just wanted to make sure everything was cool instead of, like you said, and she's gonna gesture with her hand. Awkward.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I would hate if we grew apart because we were both feeling weird about shit.
Well, that was a huge factor of it. You know, if
Yeah.
things didn't work out, you know, I'd have to lose someone who I consider a pretty important friend of mine. I mean, we've been very supportive through a lot of Diane times, I'll refer them to. When I'm Dianing. AKA being a bitch.
No, everyone deals with their stuff in their own way. You're fine.
No, I get it. I can definitely sometimes be... yeah, but... I don't know. I think it's fine. It'll all come together eventually.
Yeah. Just we go back inside? It's really cold.
Yeah, I'm so for that.
Oh, I should have been slowly turning up the wind sound effect I have going in the background through the whole thing. Just every like 20 seconds, I should have been like plus 5%, plus 30%.
Reach out to Ian, pat on shoulder, smile, and then like a little hair ruffle, like fucking nerd. And then she goes,
Y'all are fucking cute. Damn.
and she's like smiling. She's like, ah, thank God.
So, like, am I 12?
Yes. It was nice. Shut up. I like that.
No, I'm kidding.
All right.
He blushes and follows you back inside.
Alrighty.
And
They
then
come-
slightly just
They come back
There's my
inside.
secret.
I would like to know if anybody that was outside is doing anything during this time.
You mean everybody was inside?
Yeah, sorry. No, everyone's outside.
Playing with my toy.
With how much y'all were talking initially, you'd think you were. But yeah, are you guys?
I know, I'm
What's everyone inside doing?
I am keeping an eye on David and Isla because last time they had a private talk, they listened in. So
Aw,
I am keeping an eye on them.
John!
I mean, if I'm being totally honest, unless you guys wandered off into the woods, like this is a cabin with probably not even
But there's
not
storm
even proper
outside.
not
There's
even proper
some-
windows.
There's
I don't
some
care.
chance of it not being heard.
You know what, John? Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I mean, I wasn't listening.
You're just making sure other people weren't listening.
Can I take an 18?
Yeah, dude, I was not paying attention at all. I
I'd
don't know
say,
about David, but I didn't
given
care.
what was going on, sorry for my slight absent-mindedness here. I was just finishing up the Gearblade stuff, or the Spark of Trickery stuff. I was so tempted a long time ago, because this weapon is not something I made recently. This is something that's been around for a long, long, long time. I was so tempted back in the day to just call it the Trick Space Key, so that everybody would constantly try to say it like fast and say tricky, and just constantly be stumbling over themselves, being like Trick Key. But
Trick key.
I love it.
because it sounds it's such an annoying thing. Yeah, those of you that are inside, nobody hears it through the wind and whatnot, and people trying to rest, and the sound of the fire inside. None of you hear it. I will say that it's not largely because of the snow and whatnot. Like it's not a blizzard anymore outside. I will say it's coming up on 4:30 in the morning. In fact, I'm gonna just push you guys ahead to about 5 a.m. at this point. I will give you guys a short rest if you want one, but I'm also just going to offer, do you guys want to end up taking a long rest? Because you haven't taken one
I
yet.
don't want to, but I don't know about here.
I would like to log.
The-
Well, that's where maybe not here.
So,
Yeah.
so anyways,
That's
end of that
cool.
thought. Coming up on 5 a.m., you would think that you'd start to see, like, it's the middle of summer currently. The sun should be coming up. Like, it shouldn't be up yet, but the start of dawn should be happening. You're in the twilight hours at this point. You guys notice that it is still relatively pitch black outside. There's no sign of any light to speak of on the horizon.
Miss Fannin, do you have any idea how long we were inside?
You were in there for a while.
Do you know around what time it is now?
Oh, jeez. Currently? She, she touches her hand like the thing that she always wears around her neck, the little gear contraption, which I'm so sad I'm never going to get to relate exactly what that does because it's so tricky. She just stops for a second. It's about 5 in the morning.
Sure doesn't look it, does it?
No.
No. Weird.
I suppose it might have something to do with the moon.
The moon.
You all keep talking about this moon. He just turns around. From what I've gathered, there's another moon that I can't see over top of the church.
Yes.
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 You got it. Good job.
Should we check on that?
How would we check on
Define
that, Sean?
check on it, John. Pray tell.
I mean, the person over the grow was released, right? We should be able to talk to her now.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can
We don't
see what
really
she
have a-
knows about that. I mean, we already kind of understand a little about it, but wouldn't she know more than us?
Maybe. Do we have a lead on where Quantavius is? Because we don't really have a.
You do. You guys found out quite a while ago. I'm gonna bring up the district map here for a sec.
Is Suzume still around?
Yep, she's just
Okay.
she's been in spirit form, letting you guys rest. Okay, so that map that's shared with everyone, right? No one had any problems having that pop up. You guys were informed that based off of where his miasma was affecting things, and based off of information you were given by others, he's like in that area. If you want to talk to Suzume, she's absolutely like there. She's just been being quiet, a la Suzume.
It just feels like that's the one thing we don't know anything about. We know that we have to go after Saber and Ryder soon, but we don't know anything about why that's happening and why this storm is happening. Yet all we know is it's going to continue to happen as long as that moon is there.
Yeah.
Orla still working on the gear blade just offhand. He's like, I had assumed that the weather situation and the snow were because that moon was freezing the upper atmosphere.
I think that's correct.
From what I learned, it's something that normally would be stopped by now, but
Counterforce.
it won't.
Yeah. As we
The
talked
world
about
won't
before.
Stop it.
The moon is clearly
What do you think
connected
we
to the
should do?
Holy Grail. It becomes more complete as the Grail becomes more complete. So, it'd be wishful thinking to assume it would just disappear when the war ends, I suppose, but it is possible.
I think it's wishful thinking as well to assume that. Which is why I'm hoping that that woman, she may have more information. Maybe she even knows how to stop it, or at least what exactly it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have 20 hours right now to do things without Saber coming after us. We don't know where Ryder is, but usually she's been somewhat... What's the word? She's not usually been aggressive with us. Now may be the only time we have to move around in some freedom. I know that we're all tired, but if there's some way we can get down there before the 20 hours is up, then we need to probably try.
I don't think it'd be very wise for any of us to keep moving on very limited resources. So, getting at least an 8 hours of rest would be the best option we have, just in case. And
Perhaps we could get closer and get an 8-hour rest then?
maybe.
Again,
Diane, do you have your mention thing available?
Let me get back to you on that. Hold on.
Checks her magical resources.
No, right? Fucking she's standing, like her eyes going back and forth, like.
what I'm thinking is that if we can get closer...
Yeah, I can
Fucking
do
open
that.
magic
What I'm
course.
thinking is if we can get closer, then perhaps it'll be easier to go and check on something like that. What I'm saying out of game is if we teleport there first, rest in maybe Yornico where we don't have to use the mansion if she can't use it at that point, and then walk there, it'd be a lot easier because then Diane would have another spell slot for the teleport in case we needed it.
I mean, I can cast. I have I have enough magic to cast one spell of the potency of my mansion and one above it.
Okay.
You're picking up my in-game lingo.
If there's a way we can get out of this storm off of this mountain, somewhere around maybe Yornico or somewhere near.
Oh, and one more slot.
Do you guys
Alright, I got
want
nice
a
level
bit of a cheat sheet for how if you ever want to just reference spell slots within Fate, you can do it super easily?
Yeah.
I have enough mana to do
Say
this 3
the,
times.
the easiest way to do it would be to just reference it as every level of the spell is another line of an aria, so you could like the spell chant, so you could just call like a 7th level spell a 7 line chant. Like you could one to one it that way if you ever really need language to quickly throw that out there.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
They're
Let me
called
see if I understand that.
7-line chant.
7 line chant,
So-
7 line aria.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm able. I like aria because I think arias are something you can do in opera as well. Question mark.
Mm.
But I have 1 7th aria chant.
7 line.
Aria 7 line chant. An 8th. I can't do this.
Oh, you were doing so well.
My brain
Basically,
was
out
like
of character.
over
Basically, out of character.
loud.
What I'm saying is,
Okay.
if we, it's
Yeah.
better to go there then use the mansion or or anything like that than it is to use it now then go there.
Okay.
Because if we use up your resources now before you rest, you're gonna have more resources when you
mentioned
sleep.
They're all my high level slots, and I mean the only spell I have at 9th level is Power Word Kill. So like,
You have power word kill?
Oh my
What?
She does as of her next rest. Yes.
Jesus
okay.
Christ!
okay, I just saw
Well.
that without. Okay.
Yes,
I
that's
didn't
not
expect Diane to take power word kill.
Oh, like,
I don't know.
Christ.
I was feeling adventurous.
Well, clearly you don't understand Diane as well as you
Clearly!
thought you did.
Oh.
I mean,
I
I
don't want to watch what you
I
do now,
haven't-
fucking David.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, Chad, I know that the thing disappeared. I needed to make sure the screen wasn't up just in case it
I
captured
haven't
something.
killed anyone yet. Doesn't mean I don't want to.
Man.
So try me, bitch.
Miss Fannin, do you need help getting off the mountain?
I should be able to tell all of us.
No, I actually called for a ride whenever I sent Saber away. It's nearby.
Okay. That works. And you'll be fine from this point onwards?
I should be. I'm just going to head back to my mansion. I'm going to see to preparing for to remove this thing. Are you still offering to help once the Grail War is done? Are you still going to come and assist me in case things go badly?
Yeah. Yes.
Then I will prepare to remove this, and I will wait for you to come help. If things look really bad, I may also do some investigating on my own. It might be good to know what's going on around Leventina right now. At the very least, if nobody, there's not a lot of Mage Association mages around. I will probably be questioned about what happened here. So, I should stay informed.
Well, whenever you need us, I assume Jean and I are at your service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Diane, if you
Squint.
She must be dry by now.
I gotta be.
There's a fire. You could prestidigitation yourself. If you're inside, then fucking you're dry.
Yeah, you're fine. God.
There are comments that I
Still
could
very
make.
torn clothes.
There's comments that I could make,
I have
but
no clue what this is about.
I won't make them.
No. Sean, are
I just wanted to get use out of my rolls. Damn, leave me alone.
do you have something in your eye? Are you okay? Are you good?
He's looking up. He's lying.
He doesn't know his hell.
It's true. I don't know his tell.
Just calling him out like that.
Look it up. He's lying.
So,
Oh my god.
Alternative, I also have a thing I need to do. As part of the contract I made when I got my new powers. Apparently we're not done with Sterling. At least some of Sterling, I guess. Basically, we have to. I need to check up on. I need to check up on Sterling, make
Then
sure
do
he's
you-
safe.
Do you want to head over to his place?
What? Sterling. Do you want to just ask him about it? Like,
What?
If it's what?
Like when we were talking about it, I thought we.
Yeah,
said
we'd already
that
talked about
wasn't
this.
Sterling.
Have we?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
If,
Yeah,
if it's
Sterling
what,
is
if
me
it's
and
what
you.
he was mentioning before, the cave or whatever that or the place that his father had kept all the other animals, it potentially may be where that dragonborn I was mentioning would be.
The thing about
Yeah.
star spawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to I have to neutralize the star spawn that was aligned with Audric.
I was gonna say you only told Isla that. You need to tell everybody else.
I'm
What
bringing out
the
now.
What?
I don't know what a star spawn is, all right? I just have to get rid of it.
So, are you going to kill Sterling?
No, not Sterling. I have to make sure he stays alive during it.
Okay.
He's
Killed
talking.
Audric. Apparently didn't get rid of the star spawn. We have to go find the star spawn and get rid of it.
Audric's grill patron.
Audric's
Oh.
rail patron. Yeah, that. What he said.
Then how about we-
What God said. Fucking. Oh,
How
sorry.
about we
As
make
soon
our way
as the
back?
name materializes. Audric's grail patron, then.
Yeah,
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I mean,
Dematerializes.
Says
Then how about we make our way back to the zoo then?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
talk. I'm thinking about some heavy things.
No, that's fair. You're going through a time, honey. You're like,
Yeah, you
damn.
take all the time you need. You've had a day.
Diane,
Go
Diane, can you get us there?
Yeah. If you guys are fine teleporting.
I just didn't know if that was what one of those 7th layer.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Seventh line chance.
You
I'll
can also
break it
just call
down.
them 7-line spells.
Seven line can't.
Yeah, but I'm
Seven
having
lines.
him legit just not say that because he has a negative 100 in magic stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I'll explain it to you sometime.
Good luck.
Don't bother. So can you do it?
Yes, if you guys want to.
That's
Because
probably
every
good.
time I roll this spell, everyone's like, she's gonna biff it.
It's
Oh, yeah.
funnier if you biff it. That's why.
I want you to biff it!
Also, Diane, can you get out of Sobrio?
Huh?
Why are you in Sobrio, Diane? Get out of there.
You know,
Hey, get out of
I just
Sobrio.
felt like taking a trip on my own. Sorry, guys. I used my 9
She's on the wagon.
All right.
Okay. So
Shall
teleport
we-
to the zoo, find some place to rest.
Oh my god, there's so many lines. I hate it. What the fuck is
Oh,
happening?
Oh, sweet
What's
God,
happening?
no.
And they're not making a cool shape. This is
Pretty
the
sure
worst.
it's Diane's excellent venture. Yep, there it goes.
All right.
Shoot.
Shall we go?
Look at it go.
Probably be for the best.
Just wait for this to conclude.
Goodbye, Miss Phantom. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah. See you till next time, Orla.
Certainly. And, thank you. Very much.
Well,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
I doubt we'll meet again. We will.
You're gonna keep your word about gear free, right?
As soon as I'm free of this thing and his programming won't get in the way of him living properly, then yes, the first thing I want to do is get him back. Well, and then after that, I need to deal with my Julian situation.
Yeah, that's a bad situation.
Yeah, he's jerk.
That's putting it very lightly.
I know.
And Lancer,
Mm-hmm.
Turns to her.
thank you for having not discussed our previous meeting with anyone.
Oh, whoa.
If
Huh?
If any of you question your servant's loyalty, and I'm sure that he would reframe this, but I had originally met him when he was separated from the lot of you, and had offered that he could come with me. As a master, I would have been more suitable than most of you, just in terms of raw magical energy. With both Lancer and Saber, we would have assuredly won. But Lancer turned me down. He preferred to stay where he was.
Oh. I'm
And-
still journeying through the different places. but-
Giving Lancer a smile of there's just so much good in the world.
Shut up.
I'm sure that your
looks at your face. Shut up.
I'm sure that your decision was entirely pragmatic, and you don't seem like the emotional type to me. But as someone that is equally pragmatic, I imagine that means that you thought you had a better chance with all of these people. And that speaks a lot.
You like your friends, don't you, Squidward?
Yeah, it's very that energy.
So teleport, shall we?
And you know, one last Orla thing. Orla says, raising her hand. You should know, Lancer, that as soon as the time expires, I don't expect Saber's just going to go quietly into the night, and he was the most excited about fighting you. So, you should expect to see him again, Lancer.
Thank you.
Once you free Gear Free, will we have any way to contact him? See if he's okay?
If it's something that he wants to do, and I will bring it up with him, then I will provide him with a means of finding you and reconnecting with you.
I'll look to Isla, see if she thinks that's good enough of an answer.
Otherwise, we're probably, once we deal with everything, unless I go to deal with this Julian situation, we're just going to go back to our home in Limerick.
Okay.
Okay. That works.
Alright.
Okay.
We'll meet
Alright, let's get out of
again.
here.
Don't know how, don't know when.
Thank you for your help and this kind of holding the new sword, like it's gonna come in handy.
Indeed. This whole thing could have turned out a lot uglier, but thanks for pushing for diplomacy until the bitter end.
It's more my forte anyways. That said, if things do end up, if you survive the rest of the war, and you want a solution to maybe detract yourselves from your father's magic and all the implication that comes from it, I might be able to teach you guys proper magecraft, as opposed to the... As opposed... I have complete respect for alchemy, but currently you're only utilizing half your potential.
I feel like we need to walk back inside, pull up a chair, and sit back down.
Say more words now.
We need to go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep you longer, and I'm sort of trying to extract the thing that's going to save my life. But long story short, you're using alchemy to make up for a general lack of understanding of actual magecraft and spells. Your magic circuits are hardly involved in your magic. You're probably not able to perform magic past a certain level. So, if given enough time, someone could in theory teach you to cast magic using the magic that is, the mana that is inherently within your blood. Since you do have special blood.
Ooh.
Specialize.
Blood with your special.
But there's no time for that now, and that's just...
What about me? Can you teach me how to use magic? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I could pretend I never saw you, and then that could be my gift to you.
You know what? Fair. Goodbye.
Can I have the
I guess we'll see how the war goes.
Yeah, well,
We're wasting
hopefully we
time.
get to talk about
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
more later.
Yeah.
I would be
we have to
rolling.
go.
Can I have the chart? to
You
roll?
absolutely can have the chart. Here you go. So where are you teleporting to? Sterling's, to Sterling's
Calm down.
circus?
Yeah.
Or not
Yeah.
circus, fucking
Zoo.
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 Okay, go ahead and roll. So this would be in the very familiar category, would it
This
be?
is probably the place we've been to the second
Yeah.
most.
The most. Yeah.
So go
I
ahead
think
and...
only Yornico would be more familiar to us.
So you have a 13% chance, or no, you have a 24% chance of failure. So go ahead, roll.
Do it, girl.
I still don't see the.
I shared it with
Sure.
you. Did somebody else get it? Oof.
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Go ahead and roll.
I'm scared. This is what you all get for saying you wanted me to fail.
Oh.
See, this is why I hate it when when like Logan says like you have a 24% chance of biffing it. Hopefully you don't.
Yeah.
You know what's
Because then it
great?
always happens.
You know what's great? Ian's at heavy
great?
wounds. Let's keep going.
Oh.
Ian, I'm sorry, my dude.
This is wonderful.
You know how I said we were cool? Fuck that.
Okay.
Oh.
So we're gonna take a break.
Really?
To figure out where the fuck we are.
Oh,
fair.
I know where you're going, but we're gonna take a break real quick because I'm gonna
You've
get
doomed us. Thanks.
You best friend! Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, are you gonna put us in his fucking miasma?
Oh my god. We just transform, like not transform, transport right onto the thing that we have to fight.
Fucking Quantavious is like, oh,
On the
kids,
upside,
how you
if we win
doing?"
the war in the
Right
next
there.
24 hours, we don't gotta worry about Saber.
That's
Let's just
fair.
go in right now.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
okay, well, we're here now.
I was
May as
thinking
well
about-
fucking win the war.
Well, I was thinking about how Saber stacked on me,
And realize that I'm into it. Apparently.
And I realized that I have a weird foot thing.
How's the gang gonna get out of this one, guys? It's the Dear Ashley show.
Hooray!
Hi, Chad.
Just had a bunch of the Fado see the background, and it's been
right from wrong. I'm gonna put us over on the break thing. Thoop.
I'll be
How
right
you
back.
doing, chat? How you doing?
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. This is great. This is
teleport to the modern day.
I asked everyone, I was like, are you sure? Because every time I do this,
Dear
this is what
Ashley.
happens.
you can't live in
Malcolm
fear
ever
of
get
it.
to learn magic? No, because he doesn't have magic circuits, you dumb.
If the distance between this lake and that zoo is equidistant to now,
This isn't a distance thing.
vastly overestimated time.
This isn't off target. This is similar area. And given where that is, similar area basically means any mountainside area with trees. Which is basically the entire district!
Why don't you take us to another zoo? How about that?
Oh, it's a Saturday night.
The nearest zoo that isn't that zoo, we're just in fucking Helsinki. Well, this is nice.
Yeah, this is so who's the blue lady?
Saucy sitting on top of a building like, sup? Can I eat your servant?
Oh.
Imagine if fucking Orla would have came with us and we fucked up like this.
Oh, this is good,
Naughty.
but I'm also not a.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna roll my own die real quick. Okay, cool, neat.
Don't worry,
Technically,
we can get through this. There's so much good in the world.
technically this isn't my fault.
Fucking throat.
I love this sword. This sword showed me there's so much good left in this world.
new sword too.
It showed me there's so much good left in this world, you know, man? Like, there's just so much.
Do you want me to prove you wrong by teleporting us to the wrong place?
Hey, man,
Here we
that just
go.
means we can do some good here.
Stop being optimistic, you goober.
Easy Daredevil. 1 hour ago. Thank you for the 50 USD.
Oh, hell yeah.
Damn!
Yeah, it's so rare to see just straight up donations these days. There's like 1 in every 200 bit donations.
It's true.
Messaging Malaclips. What's so good about each member of the party that makes the world so good?
Oh, what a good question.
Oh, well, you see.
Oh, here we go.
Compliment all of us.
Ian has somewhat been voted best boy, as well as myself. So of course,
Boop.
two goodest boys can be nothing but good. Diane, everything about Diane is mostly at the moment, especially when we were inside of the thing. It's a pretty good time.
What the fuck, John?
David's, you know, he doesn't like to admit it, but he's pretty good as well. Lancer, I think we all just learned. I think we all just learned about Lancer being very good.
Yeah.
Not wanting to leave his friends behind. I think that's really good of him.
We know he likes us if we win the war. Oh.
And I'm sure that there's some good in Hyla somewhere.
Damn you, bitch!
We literally. I love how the conversation was like, "Hey guys, are you sure I should do this?" Yeah. It's not like you have ever biffed it before.
Oh my god.
So, can you guys believe that John is like the ancestor of Bob Ross?
I would not be shocked. The floof starts here.
Yeah,
I
he's got
didn't
that
hear it.
fluffy hair that slowly becomes more and more of an afro, and you know he reforges the sword into a series of paintbrushes.
Okay, bang.
Like the little metal clasp that holds the end of the brush there is like made from melted down metal from the sword.
The brushes of beauty.
Don't worry, Diane. This isn't a mistake. It's
And then
a
just-
happy accident.
And then just beat the devil right out of it. Just.
Us fighting Quantavius.
They're like blessed weapons. It's like literally fiends can't go near them.
I don't think the sword is affecting my mind, right? It's just told me that was good in the world. Right, Logan?
No, it's not change. Yeah, it's not like brainwashing you or anything. It's just you very much feel at peace with nature. Like you feel that there's a harmony to all things.
Which is a very nice feeling from Aliquis.
Yeah.
Things nice. It's just
He's
Especially
very
with,
happy
like-
to have this feeling.
It's
Especially
also-
with everything that was going on.
It's also protecting you from Muramasa's effect. You don't have to worry about that, though. To be fair, also, I can't see you using Muramasa over this for a while. Depending on what you're fighting, unless you're fighting a good creature, at which point.
Taken off my sheet.
The Muramasa, I
No,
only
still have it.
unequipped it. I didn't take it off your sheet. I just made it. By the way, I installed... Okay, so there's two things I put into the game. I told you guys about one of them, which was the weapon handling thing, which you'll see like little hands in your weapons tab that represent how many things you have. If you have versatile weapons, those by clicking those, you can switch things, and you can click into a red hand to make it an offhand weapon, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing is, if
So
you'll
what you're
notice...
saying is, I can do it like this.
what can you?
I have Yowara. Okay, how you're going to say that to me again?
Yowara Kaite.
Yowara Kaite. Okay, I can have Yowara Kaite in one hand and Muramasa in the other.
Well, the other weapon has to be a... Oh, that Muramasa is a light weapon. That's great. Yes,
Yeah,
you can do that. You can dual wield them.
That's freaking cursed.
Fucking...
Yes!
If you do that too much, I might just rule that you explode, though.
I enjoy.
Dude, I'm fine as long as I can do this one time before exploding. I'm good.
It's like Ashley and breaking the
That's
staff.
terrible.
I enjoy the heck out of the fact that you can. It doesn't change anything, but you can two-hand your unarmed strike. You just
Yep.
clasp your hands together and bludgeon someone.
Boy!
Put, like, full body hug yourself and throw yourself at someone.
You just roll into them.
But, what was I going to say? The other thing is if you go to your, you won't see this, Aaron, but if you guys go to your inventory tabs, you'll notice that we're the attuned category now. There's a bunch of, like, little no-go marks, little stop signs. I now have a thing that makes it so that once you've attuned to 3 of them, it just marks everything else as no more. So, fucking, now you guys will absolutely immediately know if you're attuned to your maximum amount of things. Yeah, just small little... You don't see that?
Yeah,
No.
me neither.
One sec. Oh, interesting. Only some of you have it. I wonder why that is. It's because, like, you should be able to see it on your sheet, right, Deco?
Deco's dead.
Oh.
Logan.
Yeah.
Deco's been dead for 5 years. You
Oh.
have to let it go.
Let it go.
That's weird.
It's painful for all of us.
Wonder why it's not doing it to... Oh. Oh, I know why it's doing that.
Oh yeah, Logan. Null Black brought up a fun a question that I feel is very important. Dear Logan, if each level of spell adds a line of incantation, but most spells are still cast in under 6 seconds, does that mean high-level mages are master rap artists?
I mean, a line of a spell can be a word.
Oh, really? Oh,
But sure.
damn.
That ruined.
Not as fun, but whatever.
Yeah, they've got pretty solid diction, and at least as far as I'm aware in Fate, they could be really good German rappers.
Like, and you see, like, stuff like that, like, in Fate itself. They don't always represent it, but Rin, for example, in UBW, she does chants for her spells all the time. Within Fate, though, it's more like most spells, I think equivalent to, like, 5th level and higher spells is where you'd actually have to start getting into, like, saying arias for them. Yeah, but, in ours, it's just, it kind of adds a layer of simplicity. If you want to be like, you want to say spell slot, you could just say a 7-line spell.
Yeah, or it could be that, like, as you're a novice mage, simpler spells require those incantations.
Yeah, totally.
That become less important as time goes on. Hi, I remember when I was a wee lad and I needed to do an incantation for Firebolt.
Heck.
Firebolt.
And boom. There. Now you guys should be able to see it now in your inventories.
So Diane is Diane just able to scream death metal now? I was going to take a spell that could make me do that. It was like phantasmal. I don't remember what it is. It's something scream. But I ended up taking
Psychic Scream.
Power Word Kill instead.
yeah.
Which is a very good choice for a combative spell. What's that? You're under 100
man.
HP? Die.
Hey, what's Diane's health right now? Like, what is her after leveling up? What's her?
Under
83.
83. I could die to this spell. I could be like, you know what? You all are mean to me. Peace, and point at myself.
You're the only one that would work on in the party.
Well,
Power Word Kill?
immediately.
I mean, at max health,
immediately,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, that certainly
Yeah,
won't
Diane
stop
could just straight up use it on herself at any given point, and she would die.
Fred, my health is 192.
I know! Don't get me started! I literally look... You're the inspiration for me literally ever wanting to take the feat tough.
Dude! I fucking love
good feat.
a combination of tough and this amulet. Like, if
Kyle
I
took
lose
that,
this
man.
amulet, I'm fucked. Ooh.
Like, let me tell you, you are ridiculous. Your health, insane.
So,
I need it.
I agree. I agree with all the things we're saying. Are we basically ready? Because you guys lucked the fuck out, just so you know.
Oh.
Oh.
Is everybody back and ready to go?
Yeah. Did you short rest us? Or
did you guys say you took a long rest? I thought you were
We were
teleporting then
teleporting,
resting.
Don't do that yet. I have
Yeah.
questions.
Okay,
about
yeah.
that.
I couldn't
yeah.
remember if like we were in that cabin long enough to take a short rest.
If you want to have taken a short rest in that cabin, then absolutely, then you guys would have spent that amount of time as downtime. I can do that for you.
Do you want to heal Ian Boy on the short rest, or do you want to wait
Yep.
for a long rest?
Please do.
I mean, if you're gonna,
Half your hit die on the short rest, and then on your
yeah,
long
if,
rest,
if
they
you
all
guys
come
are
back.
gonna split these things into two, because you would take the short rest just anyways, then a long rest later. There's no reason not to just heal what you can now.
You're right.
Yeah.
I am back.
All right,
I
so
just wanna rebuild one.
so yeah, just before we resolve this, FYI, everybody is short rested. You are free to use hit die to recover whatever you want to recover. Suzume will do the same. Suzume is going to recover a total of well, all their hit points really. Who did I not throw in the combat tracker?
I'm gonna give people some temporary hit points as well.
Okay,
Yay!
Ian, do you want to recover hit points?
Yeah, I'm gonna use some hit die.
Okay, go ahead. It's so short rests are so much quicker now that we've realized that we were doing fucking hit die wrong. It's just very much like,
Yeah.
okay, everyone, just
Yeah.
go. Like, stop when you either want to stop or stop when you want to stop, or whenever you run out of hit die, whatever.
Whichever, you know what?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Thank you for the temporary HP, my good warlock boy.
You're very welcome.
I have temp. Thank you, David.
By the way,
Yeah.
Isla and Ian.
Diane, no power word kill me.
By the way, Isla and Ian, I would like you guys to roll me clairvoyance checks.
I certainly
Whoa,
could.
shit.
Okay.
No David?
Nope, they're connected to Suzume, and so it's related to her, so I want them to roll it. Because she would have materialized for the teleportation, just so that, you know, because Diane has to see her. Waiting for those clairvoyance checks. There's a 1 clairvoyance check. What a good clairvoyance check. Did I switch the thing back over? I did not. I'm going to do that.
Oh, that's a 1.
Yes, about right.
Ian, you're carrying this master team.
So Ian,
really
it's
are.
not a huge deal to you. As you guys are about to teleport, and I stress that this is as you guys are about to teleport, so you don't really have time to make note of it like out loud. When Suzume appears and opens her one visible eye on account of the other always being hidden, normally you see a starlight-esque quality to her eye as if you're looking into like a clear night sky. You see there is the faintest of red glows now, as if some of the stars in said sky were now, like, burning or were red. It's distinctly more unsettling than it was. There's also a slightly more crimson sheen to the chains that she wears as armor that lace the insides of her rather relatively minimal clothing.
Unsettling.
As you notice this, teleportation happens. So, as you guys are teleporting, so what I did, because basically almost all of Gyorniko, almost all of Leventina can fit this description. Basically any forest tile could have been chosen.
Did Thanos intercept us?
No. So, as you guys are teleporting, I did randomly roll this. You are going to end up 1 hex adjacent to the zoo. To the zoo.
Hell yeah!
I basically, I was like, I could send you to one certain place, but you would certainly die. So I was like, I'll leave it up to random chance if you go to a particular place. So I just rolled a D100 to be like fucking 10% up the map this way, 25% up that way, and you just ended up dead smack on the next hex over. That said, there is a mishap in the teleportation. As you're teleporting, there are flashes of color. Diane, as you're casting the teleportation circle, the runes that you create, they suddenly flash blue, and it feels cold. All of you feel this intense, icy feeling coming into you as you teleport, and for the duration of maybe like the 5 seconds that you're between spaces, you feel freezing as if you're trapped in ice. You guys end up very, very, very briefly, you see images of what you take to be the Santa Maria del Castello, the church where the practitioner is. There is, in this moment where you see it, there's this violent blizzard surrounding it, like chaotic, much more than you've seen in the district so far. And there's this radiant but unsettling blue glow coming from up above it, seemingly piercing through what seems to otherwise be impenetrable like walls of blizzard and darkness. But you only see this for you only see it for a second. You see this too. You only see this for a second, and then you go where you meant to go. Oh, you feel like you moved through when you're teleporting something that tried to intercept and negate the spell, but it simply didn't. When you land, there's more to describe. You guys end up in the forest. You recognize where you are. You are slightly up on the mountain, like not enough that it would impede your movement, but you are at the base of the mountain when it just starts to become steep, overlooking the valley of the Leventina district. So you can see relatively down the valley, even through the snow, which is, again, pretty calm, like it was back where you came from. You can see the zoo from where you are off in the distance. However, before, when you guys were at the cabin, you guys were in an area that was shielded internally by the mountains. You guys couldn't see the entirety of the district. Now that you're back in the main valley, you see that the light snow seems to all be flowing inwards, as if there's more wind, but you don't feel any actual wind. The flakes are moving almost slowly horizontally. Even like some are picking up off of the ground and moving in towards the direction where you know Gyorniko and the Santa Maria are. And in the distance you can see, the mountains block your view a little bit, but you can see there appears to be a much harsher blizzard at the center of the district, around where the Santa Maria is. Enough so that you guys can't see the moon from where you are. Instead, the secondary moon, you can just see this luminescent, glowing ball of blue light through the blizzard that is the light's barely breaking through the wind and the cold.
Can I see that?
It looks fun.
You can see the glow, absolutely.
Okay.
At this point.
It's like a blue sun.
Like a low blue sun.
Things might have changed.
Yeah. I'm sort of glad we didn't go in there. Then
I can see that.
you can.
The light. The blue light. That wasn't there before. Was that what you guys are talking about?
I mean, sort of.
Yes, for the expense.
Do you think that's because of Castor?
It's probably because of the death of Castor, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad people left. If I can see this, then that means other people probably could too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There would be no way of getting them out of here.
Hey, Malaclips.
Anyway.
What's up?
I'd like you to make the only actually canon roll of your magic things stat.
Oh.
And I'm not paying attention to the modifier, I'm just paying attention to the general roll.
I'm giving him inspiration.
Okay, roll this with advantage.
You know, I'm gonna make it an int check. Inspiration and...
An 11?
Damn.
So you got above a 10, that's really all you need, because something's trying to help you with this. As you are, as you say to yourself that other people might be able to see it, you feel a very light tingling feeling coming from from Castor's sword, which I assume is on your hip. You feel more magically attuned than normal, as if it's trying to push you towards a different answer.
I look down to it and I go to bring out the sword.
Taking it
Or-
out.
Or
You're
maybe it's
attuned.
this.
Yeah.
Pulls the sword out and just kind of like looks at it.
For the first time.
Is that what the sword wanted to tell me?
Yeah, effectively, yes.
Good.
By the way, as you take it out for the first time, not surrounded by the sound of rushing water, taking it out and like pointing it, you notice as you move the sword, it moves through the air with this very peaceful humming, vibrating noise.
I have a question, Logan.
Yep.
I drew the sword. Does everybody stop?
There's a amount of eyebrow raising.
They've all stopped fighting, yes.
Like I'm just imagining like David and like Diane were looking at each other like going and then they just go
You've all stopped fighting.
Cool.
We
All right,
did.
cool. Let's go.
Never. Onwards.
Anyway, we had places to be.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
deal with that at a later point, if at all.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well-
freaking me out.
We'll deal with that Grail stuff. I don't know when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll deal with it later.
So you guys are going to be moving
It's
through.
above our pay grade.
let's check on Sterling, see if we can do that thing you want to do, and
Yeah.
we'll go over there when it's probably worse.
Oh, I didn't start the timer again. 1 sec, I'm just gonna.
You
It's just like we'll go over there when it's probably much worse.
Let's
Yeah, at
go.
least we'll have some rest before we
Hey,
deal with it.
procrastination is
Yeah.
like the best.
It's so the best.
It's true.
La 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 la.
I might have to end up showing an unfinished picture from Vin today.
Oh.
Oh well.
Hmm.
Hold on.
So, as you guys want to move the other hex over to go to try to go to the zoo. Go to try to.
Try to.
Cool. I'm not gonna have you guys roll survival or anything. It's the conditions here aren't harsh enough that it's gonna cause any issues. Do you guys move in any specific way? And I also will tell you that given the state of the valley at this point and how much snow is covering it, I'm increasing movement on all hexes by 1 hour. It's so they all take 1 extra hour. So this will it'll take 3 to move from forest to forest.
That's fine, probably.
Cool.
Are
But
we
yeah,
resting once we're at the zoo, or should we rest before we get there?
We should probably rest when we're at the zoo.
Okay.
Sleeping in the snow would probably kill some of you.
Yeah, but I mean, just mansion, like, while we're here. But whatever. Yeah, no, we can go. Okay. We can sleep at the zoo. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm just checking.
reminds me of something
Probably
else.
best to learn what we can about from Sterling, and then kind of use the long rest to prepare for things.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go there first.
Let's go.
Oh, today's gonna be an interesting
Let's
game.
go.
I feel like we're
Since,
probably
since I'm less affected by the snow, I'll walk a little bit ahead of everybody and keep an eye out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
feel like we're not going at like a super fast pace or anything, so.
Taking your time. All right. For one of the last times, period, I'm going to be rolling off the random encounter table.
Damn.
Oh.
Wow. I wanted to talk to Ian.
If
but
you want
let's
to talk
see
to
if
Ian
we
during the
got
travel, then
fight
go ahead. I'm going to
someone.
roll off the table, but you guys go ahead if you want to.
She's gonna, like, kind of grab at his arm and try to, like, hey, could we talk, like, away from everyone for just, like, a second? Like, a second? We'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Fucking snow, come on.
Just back away from the group a little bit, like slow down.
So about the book. I am sorry that I kept something that belonged to you for so long. I shouldn't have done that.
It's okay.
But
In lights behind you, just like lighting the sky. But
when you were asking about it, I asked you if me and you could talk privately. And you pushed me into talking about it in front of people. And then I asked you if I could keep it because it was the only way that I could help people. And then you still forced me to ask you more politely.
We didn't ask polite, like, at all before that point.
I
That's the
said
thing.
please, I did. I said please, can
You said please one time. I think you'll find.
I? Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and point out that she watched the footage back before this and knows how many times she said please.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But that's not what Ian's saying to me right
It's
now.
fair. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I researched for this talk, bitch. Just so you know.
I am so scared of Terry right now.
Alright.
But did you ask to keep it for several weeks?
Nico, I'm gonna need you to not be in this conversation.
I'm
right now.
just saying, you're doing research, saying things like that. Izzy didn't get that. I'm just gonna bring that up right now.
Oh no, I know.
So,
It's funnier for me to do it this way.
Alright, let them have their talk.
so
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I was a tiny bit of a dick about it for 2 seconds for something that you were a dick to me for 4 weeks.
How was I addicted to you in any way? I just didn't give it back to you. I didn't
You
rub it in
played
your face.
keep
or
away
anything.
with something that you knew was mine. 4 weeks. And then acted like you had some sort of right to it.
Ian, do you remember how you got that tome?
We found it.
We found it, and we decided as a group that you could have it.
Yeah, that's generally how we decide on anything we find.
Mm-hmm.
We don't then steal
You
it from
weren't
each other
given it.
later.
It wasn't given to you because you would be the best person to have it. We learned new things, and I wanted it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Wanting a thing, Isla, doesn't equal you get the thing. You have to have a dialogue about it. You can't just take it and then act like the other person is an asshole for asking for it back. Don't be a fucking child.
Oh, okay. That's what it's always about, isn't it? Me being a child. That's why Isla had to learn a thing about manners today.
Apparently.
Huh? Okay. All right.
I'm sorry I made you say please.
It's so ridiculous that you don't fucking get this by now.
Get what, Isla?
All I have to do is ask, right?
Yes.
Right, okay, yeah. Every time I have to ask you for a health potion or something like that, I'm just reminded that I can't do it. And that I'm fucking insignificant at this shit, okay? I have to lesser everything about myself to fucking ask you for a favor. So thanks for making me ask again in front of the people that I care about and reminding me that you're fucking better than me, just like Dad used to. I didn't want this to be a whole fucking thing. I just wanted to ask you to not force me to do that in front of people because I already have to do it when it's just me and you. Thanks for the book, Ian. She's gonna fucking walk back to everybody else.
The moon explodes.
Knew it! Knew it!
TPK.
TPK.
I'm not joking.
Woo! What?
I'm not joking.
What's up? Really?
What?
There's a sudden upheaval in the atmosphere. The blizzard that was off behind you guys, you all feel it suddenly disappear and the sky immediately darkens. Light had been returning to the sky slightly, but you hear a massive cracking sound and over the mountains. The moon that you see get revealed with this brilliant flash of bluish radiant light detonates. The chunks of it fall down into the valley, crashing into the various parts of it. Landslides ensue. Large chunks of it land near you guys, and some ephemeral ball of energy remains within it that gets brighter and brighter and brighter. You're all blinded by it briefly.
Ian, Isla, what did you do?
And then...
I didn't do anything!
And then everything's back to normal.
Convinced.
And then everything's back to normal and there was no explosion in the sky.
What?
And then everything's back to normal. The pieces of
Is
the
that a
moon...
bit?
No. That's something you all saw.
Oh, okay.
Did you just Tony Stark us?
Listen, I roll off the random encounter table, and it's a thing that happened, and you guys saw an image of the moon exploding, and it's not my fault that it was juxtaposed with that, and that it was really funny to say the moon explodes, but the moon exploded.
That's
Did it?
not good.
By the look of your guys' faces, I think you also saw that.
Yeah. Even you saw it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, now I'm doubly glad we didn't go over there.
It's
I
he
bet,
motions
yeah.
back toward the area like it's still it's still fine though.
It's fine now.
Yeah. But
I
I guess it was a... Was it a premonition?
Should come up a little bit. You know some about magic.
Who's to say?
Bring this up a tiny bit.
I made it an intelligence check now, so I have a +2.
Who's to say what that really was?
Well,
We should
can't do anything about it. Let's keep moving.
You all do find after seeing that you all feel much colder than you did previously. There are chills running through your body that you cannot shake.
we gotta get you guys inside somewhere. Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
If we keep moving.
All right. Eventually, you come up upon it. Again, there's a large tarp over the top of the zoo. The doors are. You assume they're unlocked. They don't appear to be barred up, but there's no indication they are closed.
Yeah, Malcolm's is in front, right?
Yeah.
I will just do what I did with the other thing, and I will attempt to open said doors.
All right. Opening it, they push open with a loud wooden creaking sound. It does take a little bit of effort. You have to move some piles of snow aside from the doors to even get to them properly, but given your equipment, that's relatively easy for you. Again, some torches and whatnot are inside, keeping the place a little bit illuminated. There appear to be no animals here at this point. They've evidently all been moved. I don't know if I mentioned that last time you guys were here, but there's no animals here currently.
We go inside. There's no sign of Sterling anywhere around here.
If he's in here, he'd be in the back.
Yeah.
The Sterling boy.
Yeah. Start heading towards the back then.
Alrighty. You guys, you go around David, and as you come out into the back, you practically run into Sterling as he's walking out around. He bumps into you and backs up a step. He's like, oh, jeez, sorry.
It's fine. Hi.
Hey.
How's it going, Sterling?
Colder than I would have expected it to be, but pretty good. Did you guys all... Did you do the thing you said you were gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
Clear.
And if you'd be so kind, do you have anywhere for us to possibly rest and, get warm?
You notice that he has a jacket on and seems to have a backpack and has like a hiking cap on. He's like, yeah, no, you guys just settle in. You treat the place like it's yours, no problem. You rest anywhere you want.
Going anywhere?
Going somewhere?
Yeah, well, things have been, after yesterday, after the blizzard, I decided it was best to try to go and deal with the cave now, because I think I'm going to have to leave soon. I've already got the animals out of here.
You want to wait a little while and let us
could you
come
wait?
with you?
Because we have business in that cave as well.
Sure, yeah.
And it'd probably be very ill-advised for you to go in alone.
If that's what you guys want to do, then I'm more than happy to wait for you, but it's got to be today. I can't wait here any longer with the weather being the way it is.
Can you wait 8 hours?
Yes, that is still today.
Perfect.
Appreciate
Cool.
that.
Perfect.
Looking around at the back of this area too, and noting that he's wearing a jacket. There's like that small little hut back there we were sleeping in before. Looks over toward Diane. In fact, maybe we could let you rest in somewhere a little bit more comfortable before we head out.
Oh, okay. I think I picked what I pick up words. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Jean.
Fireballs.
Reaches
Sterling.
in the bag, pulls out tent. Yeah, let's go!
Little did you know that I, Diane, from New York, happen to love camping!
Oh my god.
We
no.
call it glamping where I'm from.
Oh.
No, yeah, I mean, with that, I'm gonna cast Magnificent Mansion at 8th level. Okay, because that's the spell slot I have.
Alright.
That's a spell slot I have.
I have the spell slot.
Bloody
You cast the mansion.
Yeah.
The mansion is
Can I
cast.
request, can it have like a ski lodge theme? Just because it's freaking cold? it's stupid. It's just
Based on past experiences,
aesthetical
yes,
thing.
it looks exactly like a ski lodge. With spiral staircases and long, elegant halls.
And just all these paintings of Diane and all these sculptures of her. She's just so goddamn beautiful. That's mostly a joke.
Fucking
That's
makes the
probably
Magnificent Mansion. It uses all of the space available to just make one ballroom and is like, this was worth it.
This was entirely. It's just a big room with all these paintings and sculptures of her. It's practically a museum of Diane. She's like.
But yeah, if you want to make a ski lodge themed one, then absolutely you can do that.
Yeah, just lots of fireplaces. Maybe like fireplaces in each room because it's cold. Like all the bedrooms have one. Put Isla and David's room together.
This may be a bit of a shock, Sterling.
Yeah. Brace yourself a little bit.
Has Sterling not been in there?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
He's been in there.
Has he? When?
When?
Back when you fucking defeated Berserker.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, you brought him in there. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure we've had the so this is magic conversation. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, he hasn't been in the Ski Lodge edition. Electric Boogaloo.
None of us have.
True.
Yeah,
Fancy.
including you.
It's
Yeah.
true. Let's see what I cooked up is any good. All right, let's go.
All right,
So we
you.
go inside.
If I could do the spell, it would be a beach.
He comes inside and takes off the coat and the hat and the warmer gear he'd prepared, puts the backpack down relatively close to the entrance, and lets out a yeah, I guess I could rest for a while longer.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Oh, we didn't convince you already.
crash. Goodbye. David just
On the fireplace.
fucking just slowly makes his way towards the room, just sore as shit. Going.
David.
My back. My
David, do you need
back.
to bring you a malt by?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy.
My sweet old man D&D boyfriend.
Leave me alone.
Can I just say? This is
I was riddled with arrows by a bunch of elves. My hat's gone. I'm going to bed.
Sam, I'm coming.
fucking. I just want to say, us wanting malts at this time is the exact instance of like it being cold outside and people wanting ice cream. Just want to say
I do that.
I'll make.
So.
Here's the thing.
Make hot malts.
I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make some of the malt, right? I'm gonna make some of the malt, but I'm also gonna make hot chocolate, and it's
That's
gonna end
my
up being like a
thing.
more of a float than a malt.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a good
Sean.
time.
But it's my thing. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. Do it.
But does anybody need Sterling for anything during this time?
I need him to stay alive.
All right.
The only reason I told him to come in here was to stay alive. Yeah.
Well,
Alright,
I guess
so-
I gotta kill him.
I'm just gonna preemptively long rest everybody, since it would take an act of demigod to bother you in here.
Uh-huh.
I guess
Speaking of demigods.
That's technically something could dispel magic the door, but that's cheesy.
I will spend the
Saber
first little bit of.
Watson.
I will spend the first little bit just making hot cocoa and putting ice cream in it.
All right. You guys.
I am watching this in awe. In wonderment.
All right, you guys. Well, we're in the mansion. I know this song and dance. I'm gonna sit down. You guys do whatever you want to do.
I'm sleeping.
Good man.
I'm watching Mal make some malts.
I imagine Isla's trying to make a move and David's just like, no! Not today.
You stay away from me, you vixen!
I just walk by and like knock on the door for David. He's like, no! I'm like, hot chocolate. He's like, yes!
Yes!
You heard it, he said yes, that's consent!
Fuck off!
I just come in,
going
put
to
it down
bed.
beside of him.
Christ.
Oh,
Put it
1920s.
down beside of him. Give him a thumbs up, like, just leave.
He's having such a bad day.
You're having a bad day. Fuck you.
Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Wait.
Yeah. Goes back to bed. After just chugging the hot chocolate. Oh.
It's steaming hot, but the ice cream helps. Glug, glug, glug.
Drinks, eats
Ice
the
cream
ice
helps.
cream, eats the ice cream entirely to create like a layer of ice cream in throat. Chugs hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It's basically hot chocolate, but like instead of like putting marshmallows in, just put like vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah.
I want to make this.
It's
right
actually really
now.
good. I've had it before.
Oh,
Anyway.
sounds pretty good. Anywho.
I mean, I guess I would want to have a conversation with Malaclips. I guess.
But Malakov is dead. I'm Jean. I'm kidding.
I'm just so used to saying it because I'm sitting
I know, like-
like when he comes back, I guess Diane's already has her hot chocolate malt thingy. And she's just.
I would
sipping
have,
away at it.
by the way, made one for Suzume if she's around, but I'm not sure if she's in the mood.
If you make one, set it down, and take your eyes off it, it will disappear.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
And there's one for Lancer too, but I'm guessing that one doesn't disappear.
If that one remains, I don't know, Lancer. Do you take it?
Gonna malt.
It's a hot chocolate. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yay!
Because I was gonna say, if you do leave it there, it still disappears, just after a while.
May
I love
have a
Suzume.
hot chocolate,
I
John?
love her
She's
so much.
great.
May I have a hot chocolate, John?
Yeah, of course.
No, you were mean to your sister. Fuck off.
Yeah!
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. Shut up.
I'm saying that as bread.
It's like you were mean to your sister. Fuck off. Yeah, but I mean, she also tried to eavesdrop on a bunch of your conversations and do a bunch. I think you guys.
I mean, yeah, that's one type of shitty.
You go,
There are two
I'm
different
not
types of-
appreciating the fucking energy you're giving off about Isla today.
Wait, don't let
like
someone
I
have
said,
a
I'm
laugh
sure there's
afterwards.
some good in Isla somewhere.
There are two
Somewhere.
levels of shitty going on, and it doesn't justify
Well,
either
I don't
of
know,
them.
Carrie. You never
Oh,
want to
no,
hang
you're
out
right.
with me. You never want to hang out with me during these times.
Oh,
You're always like, I want to fuck David.
how dare I?
So,
I mean, he's not wrong.
If you had the
Playing
chance to
around
fuck
here,
David, you'd be fucking David too. Don't you lie to me, boy.
Yeah, what's up, Diane?
There you go.
So I know we're talking about going and helping Isla with the thing. Not Isla, Orla. They both have laws at the end of their names. Christ.
Their
I'm just
ship
so
name
done
would
with
just be their names.
it. Yup. And I think we offered to help the Dial. We offered to help the Dial clan as well.
Hmm.
I just
I'm
wanted
hoping that they'll understand. I do plan on helping them out, but this seems a little bit more urgent.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a lot to get done in the
Not
next.
to mention, I'm sure
however long.
that Cinder and Maple and Darius can help them get adjusted in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I'm sure at that point I can find them whenever we're done with Miss Fannin.
I'm gonna withhold the Cinder being weird part, but I just wanted to say if anything else comes up and you wanted to go help more people, I'm willing to come with you, I guess.
You are?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it, and you do a lot of good, and that's something that I see in, I'm sure everyone sees in you, and honestly, it's really awesome. And I support that. And so I want to help as much as I can. It kind of was
I really appreciate that. I do. You don't have to do something like that. I know that I'm a bit of an outlier when it comes to things like this, but
I mean, frankly, I felt relieved that I wasn't the only one who wasn't planning to fight the Dial Clan with intentions of killing them. I was kind of worried that that was gonna be one person on one side and the rest of the group on the other.
Ichiro, I'm really upset that it was him in the end.
Yeah, you two were close, right?
Not really. I mean, as close as any of the other Dial Clan members were to me, but
he
he's the
was,
one
like-
that mostly affected me. He
Yeah.
helped me out a lot, and he's responsible for me doing stuff like this. Before Ichiro, I never thought about doing anything for anyone else. I would have never thought about doing something for Miss Fannin or for any of you, because I have my hands full just worrying about myself.
That's a time that honestly, now I can't even imagine.
Now that I don't have to worry about that, and now that I'm, oddly enough, pretty confident that I can make some differences. This entire encounter has shown me that the skill set that I've learned from my master before all of this, it's not worthless. I can help out people. And if you or anybody want to come with me to help out with stuff like that, I'd be more than welcome for the company.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I look forward to working with you.
Are you sure, though? You have other things, right? Once we're done with everything here, and once we're done dealing with Jack, don't you want to go back to, well, the stage? You're really talented. Don't you feel like that's where you belong?
I mean, when you're a musician, the whole world is your stage. But I definitely understand what you mean. I mean, I want to see that the Die Cats is back up and running, that everyone who had to leave, both Sapphire and her girls and Mateo are fine, but I kind of feel restless to go back to that. I mean, Diane back then is not Diane now.
I get that.
Something's kind of changed. And I don't know, I guess I kind of like it.
I get that.
I haven't gone on tour yet, so why not? It's kind of like I was, yes.
I feel like it must be different for you because, I mean, even if you were to go somewhere else, you can always come right back. I don't think you ever have to say really goodbye to Mateo or any of us or anything. You can do what you did earlier today. It's fantastic. So.
Do you think your situation's different? Just because you can't immediately get there?
I mean, it takes me a little bit longer.
Yeah, you know there's transportation nowadays that cuts that travel time down. She's gonna, like, jokingly point a finger in his face. Jean, I think that you could go pretty much anywhere, and with your energy and your willingness to help others, you'd be welcomed. I know, like, the lack of mage thing might be a hitch in that plan, but...
I don't think I have to be too fearful of that any longer.
Me neither. And I'm kind of happy about that.
If they're to send somebody powerful enough to take me, then I probably won't be able to live through it. But if they don't, then I'm sure that I can get out of it. I have to be more confident in myself and not have to worry about danger around every corner.
I mean, you are Jean, who managed to lie to Jack pretty well. Not that he's the most intuitive person on the planet, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's missing a few tools in his...
Yeah, don't put him on any kind of pedestal.
I mean, he's usually really great at lying, so you'd figure he'd know better than to take someone else's lie, but I mean, that was incredible. I've never seen someone lie to him like that. It was pretty impressive.
Closely at himself, then, are you? I think out of everyone in that room, the one lying the most to Jack was himself.
Probably. He's delusional. I really don't know what he's trying to get out of this war.
And that's why we have to keep talking to him. Next time we meet him, hopefully you'll get the rest of your answers.
Can I be honest with you, Jean? I don't want to kill Jack. I don't. I mean, if it comes down to it, I don't feel necessarily bad doing it. It'd be taking someone out of this war who's being problematic. But, and he's certainly not a good person, but I don't want to murder him out of spite. Maybe to protect my friends, but... You didn't know about this too much, but I really was planning to, I guess, assassinate him towards the beginning of this all. And I don't think I could do it. I really hope that something snaps him out of it, or something changes. Before we really have to hurt him.
Jack has a hard road ahead of him. It's a road that anybody who is not a mage who knows about this thing has to go through. He'll have to see that whenever he lives through this. I don't want to kill him either. But honestly, killing him could be seen as a mercy.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well.
Once everything is said and done, it's up to him how he's going to live in this world. All I want to make sure is that he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so much better talking to someone about that. That isn't him. I mean, I said that to his face, like a idiot. That was so embarrassing. Ugh. But I'm glad to hear that you agree. Kinda makes me feel like I'm on the right track.
Diane?
John?
I am really glad that you want to come with me. It makes this whole thing not seem like it's final. I appreciate that.
I figured with everything going on, you might want to hear that you're not alone in any of this. We all feel for you, and we all care about you. And I guess I'm lumped into that as well. What do you call this drink you made? What is this? What is this called? John?
John, Mr. Steal Your Girl. Oh.
So do you think? So do you think you'd get mad at me if I went after Ian? I'm kidding.
Ian looks up from hot chocolate for a second.
Okay.
So what do you call this fangled new thing? This hot and cold drink?
This fangled new thing.
It's just some hot chocolate with some ice cream in it. I didn't really think to give it a name.
Oh, I mean, well, ice cream kind of floats at the top. Hot chocolate float.
There you go.
So 1 second, please.
I didn't necessarily realize that Ian was in the room for a lot of that conversation. But I mean,
I'm just imagining him just looking back and forth.
Man.
I mean, to be
So
fair.
floats of existence since 1893.
Really?
Yeah, there you
Well, then I'm like, you know what this reminds me of, Jean? A float.
There
Let's
you go.
call it a hot chocolate float.
There we go.
How do you like that?
But yes, I've been here the entire time sipping hot chocolate.
It's a
What do you think about all this, Ian?
Yeah, what are you doing after the war?
Yeah, Ian, what are you doing after the war?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking question,
Right.
boy.
You want to be here? You're in the conversation now.
Damn
I-
right.
I honestly have no idea. It's been so crazy the last couple weeks. Haven't really had a spare second to think about that.
Couple of years, maybe.
I mean, like during the actual war itself.
Go on.
But yeah.
According to Miss Fannin, you might have a little bit of something to talk to her about.
Yeah, sounds like you could be her apprentice.
God, that is weird to think about.
Yeah, didn't you guys hate her?
We spent so long hating her, and now there's some ambivalence there. I'm not sure where I was at. Probably closer to rage still.
I mean, I feel like Isla's matured a lot recently.
She has. I was very proud of her today. For a bit.
For a bit.
What is that? Hold on. Hey. Ian,
goes
what
and sits down next to Ian. Like
I
for a
had
bit.
stood
Ian.
back up, but I believe I'll just sit back down.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah,
We're
as-
working
as-
through the twins things now.
No, you guys, you go ahead.
As-
You do you, fam.
When Jean sits down next to Ian, Diane's gonna sit down across from him and go, "What do you mean by that, Ian?"
Well, I mean, like, she was able to give up her gear blade to help
I didn't
care
mean
for
that
you, and
part.
I was really. I know, I'm getting to that thing.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I was just really impressed at, like, how much she's matured. Like, a couple of years ago, I don't think she ever would have made a call like that. Like, she was so mad at Orla. We both were. And it was nice to see her kind of get past that at least a little bit.
I get that.
And,
What about that second part, though, boy?
I'm still confused about that. Like, she pulled me aside, and
We got him cornered, boys.
she
Oh.
seemed to be upset.
Quick, surround Ian.
Guys, let him talk.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
She pulled me aside, and she was pretty upset about the whole exchange of the book.
Regale,
And-
what happened there?
She apologized.
She was
for
probably
taking the
pretty
book.
embarrassed of it, right?
Yeah, that kind of is a lot to ask. Pretty please, may I have the book? For the record, I'm dancing and Izzy's trying to hit me.
Jesus Christ. Trying to
my God.
formulate my thoughts.
I'm sorry, I wasn't distracted. I won't look at you. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, she was upset about the exchange of the book. And I got a little mad at her. She seemed... It felt like she shouldn't have been that upset given how much shit she gives me on a daily basis. That I just wanted my book back and was maybe giving her a little bit of ribbing. But she seemed to take it really personally. And I got mad at her. I perhaps called her a fucking child.
Are you
Oof.
kidding? Ian, are you serious? Did you really? Ian.
Upsetting. She seemed so indignant that she should have to ask permission to take something that wasn't hers, and I got a little upset about that because that seemed so very Isla from like 10 years ago. I really thought we were past that kind of thing. That we were.
But did you have to
beyond
bring it
that.
up in front of everyone?
She
I
does the
mean-
exact same thing to me. I honestly didn't think it was a big deal to give each other a little bit of ribbing.
She's probably also still kind of upset over the whole Orla thing.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah, she
be
might be a
honest,
little
today and
hypersensitive.
yesterday have been very hard on her thoughts recently.
It's definitely possible.
She's
couldn't have
had
been an
to
easy
not
thing for her
only
to give up.
completely attempt to work with, but also find no reason not to forgive a woman she's been mad at for years. I mean, you've always seemed like you were upset, Ian, but every time I've heard talk of killing or murdering Miss Fannin, it's always came from Isla. Not only that, but everything that happened with Archer the other day as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that things might have just worn on her so far.
Yeah, it kind of seems like she's going through it right now. That, and she did see David, like, really get his ass handed to him a little bit. I mean, he was really
I'm
getting
not
torn
saying
into.
that what you did was bad. I'm not
No.
saying that at all. You guys honestly say so many things to each other that it's a wonder that anything hasn't already set this off. But
Indeed.
I mean,
you
Christ,
guys are
you guys are
siblings, and you're
siblings.
used to stuff like that.
Ah!
Yeah.
Jean, we just said the same thing.
Yeah,
That was
twinsies.
kind of incredible.
You're basically married already.
But it's
But she
Yeah.
I think it was more about something else that she said that really took me off guard.
Hmm?
She was really frustrated and embarrassed at having to ask for help because she couldn't do something.
Well,
And she
yeah,
said
it's Isla.
she said she acted like once again I was like pretending like I was better than her. And
Okay.
once again.
Do you know how? I mean, I'm just gonna speak from perhaps an observant standpoint. It is really hard for Isla to ask people for help. I mean, I'm gonna talk from the standpoint of she basically asked me stuff about love and then denied aggressively about the whole David situation. She
oh yeah,
doesn't
she
go
did that to me too.
she doesn't go to people. I mean, oh.
What does
Oh,
she
boy.
mean by again, though?
She brought up our dad, and she's I don't know. It took me aback because I've never once thought that I was better than my sister. If anything, I thought we were just completely equal. Like, we have different areas of expertise, but neither one of them are better or worse. Like, there are things she can do that I certainly can't. She's better in a fight than me by far. Like, without her around, I would definitely be dead.
I mean, she might not be looking at it from the combative standpoint. It might be a social thing. It takes a lot for Isla to reach out and...
It's more than that. I mean, from what I understand, you guys were... Before you learned about everything, you guys were a pretty traditional mage family, right? You guys were learning
Starting to
from
wonder
your
about that,
father.
but more or less.
You guys were learning from your father. You guys were going into Clock Tower. I think that
Yeah.
she may be feeling inadequate because of how things went with that. If your father really did treat her somewhat differently, or if maybe Clock Tower did when you two were there, or maybe she's just... And again, I don't know much about mage society, but a lot of mages seem to put a pretty high price on things like that. A lot of them still seem to think that if you're not smart enough or you can't do enough, then you failed. Is that maybe what she might have meant?
I mean, I was more than smart enough to do whatever she sets her mind to.
She might not think that.
I think you're ignoring a very simple thing, Ian.
I see.
She comes back with a chocolate mustache.
When you speak to her about showing respect and asking nicely, you're talking down to her. She's not a child or your lesser. And you seem to be completely ignoring the fact that when you were talking, she said that you reminded her of your father. Somebody that she's made great peace with having to kill, and you haven't. Clearly she harbors negative feelings towards him that you're just entirely incapable of feeling.
I also think that it might all... This is just my take on it. There's something to think about as well, but it takes a lot for Isla to ask for help or ask for something, and to kind of tease her for it kind of doesn't help. She's trying really hard.
Personally, I don't think that you saying anything was really the catalyst in all this.
Yeah.
I think it was the straw that broke the back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of things going on with Isla right now, and getting so close for you guys to potentially settle things with your father, adding on to all the things you've already mentioned, I think might have just been too much.
In light of recent circumstances, I might be able to sympathize as well. I lived my life killing people for a lot less, and I'm younger than both of you are. And when I did seek somebody out that I respected and allowed them to try to shape the way that I felt, them trying to help me just came off as condescending. They had decided what was right and polite and proper and enforced that on me, and no matter how right they were, it was against my nature. I believed that that person hated me until very recently, and it ended with me killing myself. If you consider her your equal, then let her talk like herself and be herself.
Yeah, treat her as...
Demanding shows of respect won't help you, especially since you're supposed to be fighting beside one another. You're not normal people. Your communication was never normal from what I can see. But I agree with you, Mouthclips. She's very much acting out of stress and anger.
Yeah, when someone hurts you, like I'm assuming your father did, sometimes just hearing the same words can trigger a pretty negative reaction.
I'm not defending what she said, but...
providing perspective.
It became very clear to me that Goro thought that he was doing something that was right and was trying to help me. And it didn't go well for both of us, because neither of us was willing to communicate in the other's language.
The two of you were very adamant in your ways, even in the war.
That's for sure. Yeah, it makes me sad that I completely misunderstood how she was feeling for so long. Like, truth be told, like, I have felt similarly to her. Like, she resents a little bit. I can tell that Dad gave me a lot more attention in training me.
A lot of what we said...
Let me finish, please, for the love of God.
Oh, no.
I was going to agree with you, but yes.
Yes.
Based on recent events, I feel...
She's like, shut the fuck up! Say your thing, do your thing.
Truth be told, on the flip side of it, like, when I was younger, I resented Isla a lot, too, because she got to spend a lot more time with Mom. Like, at least from the outside, it looked like she was having a lot more fun. Like, when Dad was teaching me alchemy, like, honestly, I kind of hated it for a long time. Like, I was okay at it, and, you know, I didn't really have a choice, so I was diligent in my studies, but I didn't really enjoy it. It was just a thing I was expected to do, and it looked like my sister was off having fun making bombs and fireworks with Mom. So, I can understand her feelings there.
A lot of what we said about Isla is still the same for you, Ian. No one's going to say that in the past couple of years you haven't also went through quite a lot.
Yep.
I feel like you two are taking it different ways, and it's affecting how you guys usually act with each other.
Yeah. I really don't want Isla to keep thinking that asking for help is some kind of weakness, or that it, like, puts you below anyone else. Like, everyone is good and bad at different things.
You might want to
asking for help should be totally natural.
Is there anything
it should be
you can ask her for?
Yeah, you should try and encourage that, not...
I think if you remain there for her.
At this point, Suzume, who has materialized at this point, is like gripping her. She has her arms crossed. She's like gripping her arm visibly, gripping her
with her hand, tightening it. I think that, and I'm no expert on these things, try to stay available for her whenever she needs you, but don't try to impose anything on her, especially now. The same should be true in reverse, from her as well, obviously, but I think currently asking for help is difficult for her because in this moment, especially in these few days, she has to be stronger than she's ever been in her life. And maybe she looks at you, and she sees somebody who, since you love your father more than she does, as far as she thinks, maybe she wonders why you're not more upset. Maybe she's upset with herself that you have more to lose by losing your relationship with your father, but somehow she's angrier about it. That stability, that unmovingness, it might frighten her because she doesn't understand it. It might make her feel childish, so being called it isn't good for her. I'm sorry. At this point, I'm not sure.
No, I really appreciate your perspective. And honestly, if she's confused about how calm I am,
I'm gonna close my
it's probably only because I'm confused by that myself. I have no idea how to take this.
Suzume.
If anyone said anything to Suzume in the last 5 seconds, I didn't hear it.
Suzume.
Oh, I said I appreciate your perspective on things.
I heard that bit. I just had to close the
Okay,
window because
cool.
there was a car horn, and I was like, well, that's not very immersive.
Suzume,
Yeah.
are you in pain?
A kind that I'm not used to dealing with, yeah.
I mean, physically.
No, physically I feel better than I have since I was summoned.
Are you sure you don't feel... I thought I noticed something earlier. There's more of a, I don't know, like a red tinge about you.
The qualities that I was summoned with that I borrowed from Goro, because I was just his reflection, have begun to fade away now that he's gone. My ability to make weapons and such will remain, but now that the Grail considers me a proper servant, my mind has become sharper. My reflexes have become a bit faster. And my noble phantasms have fully summoned themselves. I'm able to control my sword more than I could, and I have the means to kill Ryder. The main change is I was borrowing Goro's eyes that were given to him as the greatest smith who had ever lived. I'm not going to be able to deflect weapons the way that I could, but I'm able to see things the way that I saw things now. If that's the change that you're maybe noticing, it's not a bad thing. It means that I've ceased being Goro's student and am returning to being the demon swordsman that I was.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yes.
You don't...
I had my chance to be Goro's student, and both of us failed each other. In the end, after I died, he took a weapon into his hand and killed somebody on my behalf, knowing it wouldn't fix anything. And that's the betrayal of what he felt, that to use a weapon means that you become a weapon. Knowing that, I believe that if I were to give completely into my sword and just become nothing but a killing machine used by you two, I don't think I'd be giving myself up. I think the answer is somewhere between what he thought and what I thought. And I'm happy because I'll get to help you. I can die having accomplished something this time.
So you're using a bit of what you learned from him, then?
Okay, that music needs to get out of here. Yes. I know I sound depressed, and I probably don't look that good. And my return to being more of a demon swordsman is probably alarming, just based on looking at me. But who I am hasn't changed. I have something I didn't have before. I know that...
As long as you're doing okay, Suzume, whether this demon swordsman thing or not, that's all that matters.
And if you find you're not okay, like, please know that you can talk to us, okay? We'll do whatever we can to help you if you need it.
To be honest with you, I'm a bit upset. But I'm very happy that I am. I lived my entire life not caring about anybody, and I thought the one person I put my faith in had betrayed me. Now, as sad as it is, I know that he very deeply cared about me. And I'm sad because I'm never going to get to talk to him about it. But it's better to know that. Maybe when things are over, I'll see him on the other side.
I hope that's true.
Ichiro gave both of us a chance to do something new with ourselves, Malaclips. It's sad that he had to die, but he unknowingly put a lot of good into the world, I think.
You talking about your life the way you did, I couldn't help but see some parallels as well. But I really am glad that you're alright. And if Ichiro did anything, I think that he never probably intended for all the good he did. But I can at least still look at it as if the one who saved me did also add in some very good things into my life. You being one of them.
Thank you. I'm very happy that it's the lot of you that I stumbled upon. And on the
I think
record,
we're all happy about that too.
from this point on, I've said it before, but you'll get no more disobedience from me. You did what you said you'd do for me. I am entirely yours to command from this point on.
I am sorry that it kind of took us a while, though.
That's fine. It took me a while, too. And, you should really take Diane with you after the war, I think, Malclips. She seems to be in the need of a permanent vacation, and you are basically a walking vacation.
Walking, huh?
After having looked at you and how you treat everybody and how you throw your wealth around and your good-spirited nature, I can't help but to think that you are the definition of philanthropy.
I guess I can't really I guess I can't really argue about that.
I don't.
I do kind of
disagree with
use my money to solve all my problems.
I think that you two could help each other through a lot. As for the Isla thing, I'm sorry. We pulled away.
No,
She's
it's okay.
probably more mad at herself than you.
I mean, I'll be honest, I think she deserves to be mad at me as well.
A little bit.
I should have handled that better, and I should understand better how my sister feels after all this time.
Although you guys are siblings, I still think you guys are learning a lot about each other every day. I think the best you can do now is, instead of being angry at her in turn, try and be understanding.
Oh yeah, I was angry at her like at the start of this conversation, but yeah, no, I'm okay. I want to talk to her about this whenever she's willing to do so.
Just remember the golden rule, Ian. Don't call your twin sister a child whenever she's a day away from having to murder her father.
That old chestnut.
To which she fades away mid-saying that.
On that.
You know, to be fair, that's probably something that should be written down somewhere.
Yeah, maybe a little specific, but you know, like really valuable nonetheless.
It's a good mantra. Maybe to treat your foes if they're your sister. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm leaving.
God, there's so much good in the world, guys.
I'm retreating to my room, Susan.
There's just so much good in the world, you guys. I just don't.
You know what? You're right, Sean. A goddamn ray of sunshine.
Is this a thing now?
I appreciate your presence in all this.
I can't believe Suzume said something that identifies you so well. You are literally a walking, talking
and
beach.
you're weird.
Wait, what'd you
And
say?
Castor said you were childish.
That was the worst
Runs
joke
down the
I
hall.
ever heard. You're already gone. Fight me.
No, I was still talking
Yeah,
about
well.
the beach thing.
Were you talking about Suzume's joke or her joke?
That's Susan May's joke.
Oh, because she's still around, so fucking just
Oh,
say
yeah.
that. She's just like,
At least I have a face.
Oh, shit! Get it, Suzume!
That actually does bring up something. Lancer, how come you never take off your helmet?
I have.
you weren't
have?
there.
Well, your assassin is showing.
You have?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm rather. You have? I'm rather curious.
I take off my helmet.
You do?
Touché.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're hot.
Oh wow, rather good looking.
I do okay.
You look better without it.
I don't know how to handle you.
Lancer, do you know how much good in the world there is?
I really don't. Lancer disappears.
This sword is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
I can't believe Jean's actually gonna get the harem ending. My god.
You hear from the other room.
So, this conversation and its where it could go aside, how do you guys feel about this whole long rest situation?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's do it.
Get a bag,
Already
nerds.
been doing that. boy.
I stand up.
knock on. No.
I stand up, look over to Diane and Ian. I pat Ian on the shoulder like I'm gonna go lay down and go bed. Actually, no, I'm gonna pat Ian on the shoulder like I'm gonna go take a bath. You wanna go take a bath?
Ruffles hair, dude, John.
Because we're at like a fucking sauna place, right?
They're.
There's a
yeah,
cabin?
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Ian, let's go take a bath. Let's go, man.
Do it. Do it. Ian, go take a bath. Mel, do it.
Oh, sure.
All right, cool. We're gonna go take a bath.
And then they talk about their feelings.
Yeah.
What you just did for 40 minutes.
You're a fucking guy.
Talk about the boys they like.
Aw, surprise, it's each other.
No way.
Oh, that's worked out so well.
I want.
What a good night.
No,
So,
I can't.
Logan, I have a question.
Yeah, what?
The thing that's going to happen during the long rest, would we feel it?
You'd become aware of any
What?
changes. You'd become aware of changes to your bodies, yes.
Oh,
Also,
excellent.
Ian, one of the things,
Sean?
over the long rest that we can maybe talk about during the bath. Can you make me another climbing potion and speed potion?
Of course, man.
Thank you, man. I'll give you the muns.
He does it in the fucking tub.
Oh yeah.
I've got an alchemy set next to this, like.
Sometimes he'll plop different chemicals into the bath so it fizzes
Oh,
and they're like,
Oh
bubbles.
hell yeah!
I've invented the bath bomb.
If anyone's Lila would be furious.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right.
Second. Also, I'm imagining that what Carrie's implying happens to Ian while he's still taking the bath with Sean.
Oh,
It's like, what the fuck is happening to
That'd be so funny. Like depending on what like it is, like it just John's just like talking to you, blah blah blah, and he just stops, his eyes go wide.
Are those horns?
oh.
Oh,
Fucking
So,
Mel is like, yo, Ian, you need help washing your back? There's just a tail with a sponge washing Ian's back. He's like, no, I'm good.
I guess not.
I got it.
All right. Oh my god.
Well,
Wait,
I
what
mean,
did Ian take?
Don't worry about it.
Who knows, man?
David rolls.
I'm seeing a lot of Ian right now.
I'm so excited.
Can I just say, I'm imagining David rolling over and like looking at Isla lovingly, and then Isla's tail coming out from under the sheets and stroking his cheek. He's like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's
I'm just
nothing
saying,
you
Logan, I'm
notice.
seeing
It's
a lot
noth-
of Ian right now.
It's nothing you notice.
Did
Damn.
you take the tongue?
Don't worry about it.
Who knows, man?
Rare.
Cool.
That sounds like a good time. Yeah, if it's
So
a
what you're saying is that we get to wake up in the middle of the night and scream in agony?
It wouldn't necessarily be painful. Just
I mean,
Okay.
we wanted to.
So how much?
What if they want it to be painful?
It's funnier this way.
if you want it to be painful, you have it be painful. It's your call.
So how much would those potions be?
You wanted a climbing and what else?
The speed.
Climbing and speed.
Whoa.
The same order I always ask you for.
Man, are you messing with uppers now? Malaclips? Be careful. dude.
Damn, getting that speed, shit.
Let me see
Okay, we already
here.
have one haste addict in their Nat19.
I know, right, guy?
It's true.
I'm just trying to get the maximum number of attacks in and around, you know? Like, I'm dual wielding now. I'm freaking got action surge.
You
I got...
need to calm down.
Calm yourself. Okay, so let's see. Potion of climbing, that's $500. And
I can make that.
potion of climbing.
You can make that, Isla?
Yeah, you totally can.
Alchemist supplies, I can make that.
You know what? Ian, make me a potion of speed, and I'll go see if I can chat at Isla to make me a climbing potion.
Yeah.
Walks in on Isla
do
being
that.
like,
Yo, I was gonna say tonight's a bad time to ask, my god.
I think she'd
Listen,
really appreciate
listen. I
that. You
think
go-
it's
go-
a great
go do that
time to
now.
ask. I think it's a wonderful time to ask. Because if I ask you, and you'll be like, "Oh, but I'd ask Ian because he's better." It's like,
That's what
well,
she gonna
yeah,
say.
but I want to ask you, and you.
Stop being adorable. God
There's so much good in the world. How many times?
Oh!
Shut up!
Can't remember what rarity a potion of speed is.
Where is potion?
A potion of speed. I can find that for you. I'm going to guess that it is rare. Is my memory? It is very rare. So that would be how much does it cost you to make that?
3,000.
Yep, 3,000 gold or dollars.
Dollars.
Okay. Wow, 300 gold. You know, for all the things, for the complaints we have during epic level play for those alchemists, the fact that they can make things for like less than a tenth of their cost is ridiculous. Because a potion of speed runs for 5,000 to 50,000 gold. Obviously, it'd be more.
Oh,
It'd be closer to the 5,000, and as a DM, I'd even probably put it lower because potion. But
still, like 3,000 for that seems fair. So that it being a tenth of that is ridiculous.
Okay, so I will give you the 3,000 gold.
Hmm.
Or 3,000 the $3,000.
Yeah. And give you.
I already put the potion of speed on your
of
sheet.
speed. Perfect.
Nice.
Yep. You already kind of had one anyways.
Ah, fuck.
Like you didn't have a potion, but you had the listing from the last time you used it, so you're good.
Damn it.
You're a damn it. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do?
Got him.
I can got him. I'm gonna real quick go onto your sheet. I'm gonna throw, let's see, magic item potion, boof. I'm gonna take the text from the potion. Oh, there is no text there. Well, that just works out. So I'm gonna get rid of the potion of speed, and then I just wrote, fuck, I just turned the haste spell into a potion of speed for you, so the effects are all there and stuff.
Aha.
I love how
okay,
it's
so-
daily.
Now
I
it's
will
not.
make the timing. Then I could still make one more potion. Does anyone else need a potion, or I could just make another supreme healing potion in general?
That would be great.
Yeah, we used up a lot of the healing potions over the last like
yeah.
day or
I'll
so.
I'll make a supreme healing potion, so that's like another 3,000.
Standard.
I don't need potions. I don't get hurt. I don't get hurt, so
Of course not.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Hey. So I know this is a bad idea from the fact that Carrie just told me it was a bad idea.
Go
But
on.
can I go and try to find Isla?
Fucking, you know where she is, boy.
This is this post
To
bath?
the cost.
Yes.
Ian, you're also post bath?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
So is this, by the way, when we're talking about, are we talking this place has basically like a hot tub situation?
That's what I was expecting. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, kind of like a big hot
Cool.
tub to give everyone
Neat.
their.
So, Malaclips, as you leave it, assuming that Ian left sooner to go start working on stuff, as you leave like the hot tub situation, the room that's in, as you leave it and you like close the door to it behind you, you walk off a bit and you hear a gentle creak coming from back the way you came, and then it closing again. But it closes with like the sound of like all the latches happen very slowly, as if someone had tried to very quietly close it but failed miserably.
Is it Sterling?
No.
It's Susan.
Okay.
Man.
I turn back around, heading to the door.
Made spine on naked John.
I like look at the door, look around the area.
It is closed. You don't see anything on the outside anyways.
I go up to the door and I just kind of like give a very light knock.
You
Someone in there?
hear... I'm gonna roll.
Oh, it's just you, David.
You hear the faintest. You hear the faintest of coming from inside, and then the very, very light sound that you associate with like the mana dispersal that comes with servants vanishing, and then you don't hear anything else.
Oh.
Suzume, was that?
So cute. Sorry, go on.
Door stalker.
Well, I'm going to bed.
It's not stalking she
Sorry.
was doing.
Huh?
It's not stalking she was doing.
I'm going to bed. Sorry. Leaves.
Roll me perception as you go.
And perception.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So,
Oh shit.
so I see the code. I
Let's
see.
see.
As you leave, you hear the echoey sound from inside the room of water being displaced and sloshing around, followed by a very intrigued and satisfied sigh, and that's effectively it.
She's so cute.
Sean's
my
just
God.
like hears that, just like, why do I have such good hearing?
Oh.
He stops for a second, just like, "Rrr," and then walks away.
Love her so much.
Isn't the world beautiful, Jean?
So fucking just full disclosure, based on the time period and how she lives, this even if we account for the time in her actual life, this might be the first time she's like taken a actually ancient Japan. This is the first time she's taken a bath ever.
Oh.
The world is just filled with so much good. All right, I'm just saying. I get to John gets to remember that contented sigh for the remainder of his life, which is going to be 2 minutes as soon as she finds out he heard the contented sigh.
Yeah, the way she would have.
It's a fact.
Yeah, people back then would have cleaned themselves by being like bucket, river, water.
Mm-hmm. It's her first hot bath.
And in her case, I mean, she just wandered around killing people, so I wonder how much she really cared about cleanliness.
She deserves this.
She's stinky girl. She's stinky girl. But we love
Anyways,
her.
so you're going anyway. Sorry for the distraction. So you're going to Carrie.
No. I'm very happy for the distraction.
Please distract us.
Jean is just like, oh my god, why do you have to disappear? He's gonna after that happens, just kind of like go over toward David and Isla's room, and understanding that David is probably asleep, he's gonna like put a very light knocking on the door.
Go away!
Go away.
I sleep.
Leave me alone.
Sorry.
Wait a second. Gets up, becomes not naked.
Curses. I'm kidding.
Spontaneous.
You okay?
David in his
Why
sleep's
don't
like,
you
no,
come
don't.
in?
Wait. What?
David in his sleep's like, no, don't get unnaked.
No, I don't want to. I said no.
No, it's a machine.
Okay, yeah, she'll answer the door and be like, I'm sorry I told you to go away. David, trying to sleep, and I thought that you might be Ian apologizing to me, and I don't really want to hear it right now. So,
no, I'm not Ian.
yeah.
I don't think.
I can tell. That's why I came to the door. What's up?
Well, first off, are you tired?
Yeah, but I can't really sleep. What's up?
You can't really sleep?
No, thinking about a lot of stuff.
A lot of things have been going on the past couple of days. I felt that you might be a little restless.
Yeah.
He just kind of like just keeps looking back, like behind him down the hall, like he's very distracted.
Doorbell.
You okay?
He thinking about that Susan.
What's? I was gonna like look down the hall while you were looking. Like, what are you? What is? What?
The bath is that way. I
Okay.
just
Are
came
you
out of
saying
it.
that I, like,
You see,
smell or
he like grabs like a piece of his hair, just like, yeah, I just came out of it.
Oh, are you saying that I like smell? Did you come here to
no,
tell me that I need to take a bath?
Yes. No. I don't think
Okay.
that you smell, but
Thanks.
Suzume, she's in the bath,
Oh, okay. You like
and she seemed.
like watching her? What are you?
No, I don't. I was in the bath and she got in, and it was after I left. Oh God, this is coming
She
out
got in
wrong.
the bath while you were in the bath. What?
I'm worried about her.
I mean, yeah, she kind of went through a huge thing.
I know that she's strong. And I know that she's very much able to handle herself, but she was talking to me earlier, and Ian and Diane, about how she's upset that she's never going to get to talk to Castor about things that happened while they were alive. And she seems like she's doing her best to make herself feel better, and I'm really
appreciative of that. I think she's really neat, and yeah, I think that she's really. Anyway,
I think she's amazing too.
I don't really want her to feel like she's alone. If you wanted to take a bath, it's not because you're smelly or anything like that. I was thinking
You
maybe
want me to go talk to Suzume?
even if you don't talk, like just hanging out or something, or doing what you do. You're really good at talking to people, a lot better than I am.
I'm not good at talking to people. I am very abrasive. I know that.
Yeah, but people enjoy
he's a lot
that
better at
about you.
talking to
People
people
enjoy
than
you.
I am.
People enjoy you talking confidently,
Okay. What did Ian say to you? This is weird. What's going on?
I was gonna get to that. None of this is what Ian was talking to me about. All of this is, I got really distracted because I heard. He's just like blushing
So
profusely and like just like turning away and like turning back, and he's like,
He's just having a bad time.
I'm having a great time. What are you talking?
Dude, I was just looking at you like, okay, come on, you have a point. Can you get to it?
I wanted to see if you could maybe hang out with Suzume. I know that it's not something you wouldn't do, and I just felt like letting you know. She was in there by herself.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could do that. I'm not sleeping, so yeah.
If you were sleeping, don't worry. I'm just,
I mean, I can go and do that, and then try to sleep. I want to try to get some rest, but yeah. I'm killing some time with Suzume in a bath. Whatever.
Also, can you make me a potion?
Yeah, that's not really my thing. You should go ask the nerd to do that for you.
I mean, I asked him, but he's making some other things right now.
Oh. All
and
right.
I thought that maybe I could ask you.
Noting that if she makes a potion for you, mechanically that has to be her downtime during the rest.
That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be tonight. It's just something I was thinking about, and I didn't know if it was. I felt like we didn't really talk much before the whole thing that happened with David, and I'm glad that worked out. But
He looks back at sleeping David. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm really glad that you guys came to me for that. I mean, I know that you probably would have fixed it sooner or later, but it really felt like we were chatting a little bit, Anyway.
Like, I'm sorry about the whole crossbow thing when we, met each other. We're at war, and you're a nice person, and I'm really glad that we're friends.
Oh,
I was really afraid.
I'm so happy that everyone's telling each other how much they like each other.
Shut up! It's gross!
I'm not gonna lie, I was really afraid.
Oh, this is great. Do my work for me, guys.
It's time to kill one of us off.
Everything that I've been through with mages, I honestly thought that I was about to die.
Yeah, if you had been any kind of danger to me and David, I wouldn't have hesitated to kill you. But I'm glad that I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't too. I mean, for more than just me being dead.
Yeah.
He just goes, "Come on, Sean."
Oh, it's so cute. I love that he's afraid of her. Go on.
It's kind of looks back at you. I'm really sorry. I don't talk to you a lot because you are probably the scariest person I'm around right now. And that includes Lancer.
I most definitely take that as a compliment. Thank you.
I meant it as one. But thank you. And don't tell her that I'm okay. I'm gonna go to sleep now. You don't have to make that if you don't want to. It's I can
What do
do
you want me to make? I might not be able to make it anyway. Like
a potion of climbing. This lets me stick to walls a bit better. You know, like when we were fighting against Alquam and I walked down the thing and it's fun. It's funny. I
can try. Yeah, I think I know how to make that. Sure.
If you do,
Yeah.
I can double whatever price you need for it.
Don't worry about it.
Thanks a lot, Isla.
You're welcome, Sean. I'm gonna go take a bath.
Again, not because you're. I'm
I
just
know.
gonna go.
You didn't say that I would. Yeah, you should go. Yeah.
Just gonna. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Mm-hmm. No.
Good night,
Sean,
David.
David, you probably. I'm sorry if you heard any of that. I'm gonna go take a bath. You probably can't hear me because you're asleep. I'm gonna go take a bath.
The king of talking to people, Jean.
So I'm not, because all of the roleplay's happening, I'm not gonna talk to Suzume when I get in the bath. I'm just gonna silently get in the bath. Does she stay in the bath with me? Is she still there?
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. Wait.
I'm waiting. Here I am.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty stealthy.
Damn.
She does notice you whenever you enter into the bath. She's completely disrobed by this point. She doesn't notice you. This is the first time you've seen her hair is down.
Oh.
Whenever you enter, you do see. She doesn't. Her back's to you. You don't. You notice there's a series of like scars and whatnot under the area where her robes would normally be that you hadn't seen before. You do notice that the flower that she has in her hair normally, she appears to still be holding that. She doesn't notice you until you get around her and get in the bath, at which point there is a brief flicker as if she looks like she's about to disappear. But by this, she looks startled, realizes you're there, doesn't fade away. Seemingly deciding not to if it's you. Yeah,
Sorry if I disturbed, but I'm just gonna get in and we don't
I'm sorry.
talk or anything. Yeah.
I should probably be outside watching things. I'm sorry. This isn't really what a servant is supposed to do.
No, you earned it. Relax, it's fine. You had a really, really hard day. Don't worry about it.
You can see she's cradling the flower that's normal, the lily that's normally in her hair. She's holding it in both hands above the water. You also notice she's sitting in the hot tub very formally, like as if she would be sitting at any kind of gathering, like knees under her bent. Clearly has no idea how to do baths.
Bath is to relax, right? Like, just sit comfortably. Not, like, you don't have to, like, sit at attention or whatever. Like, it's fine.
I don't like to sit in general.
Oh, I mean, okay. Whatever's the most comfortable for you. It's the point of a bath.
I've always just slept or moved around, walking constantly. I don't like to be stationary. But baths like this are something that didn't exist in my time, and I'm not gonna get another chance, I don't think. So whenever they said they were going to do this, I was originally going to ask if I could join them, but then I thought that would be rude, so I waited till they were done. I thought you were asleep.
Yeah, I kind of couldn't sleep. For the record, that's not rude. We've all gotten in the hot tub together before. You're fine. I'm sure they would have enjoyed it.
Yes.
She blinks innocently, that evidently going over her head.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not gonna be in here long. I won't disturb you for long. Don't worry.
You couldn't disturb me.
Oh. That's really nice of you to say.
Whenever, what's that crackling I'm hearing?
Yeah, there's a slight crackle.
Probably me.
It is
Crabs.
you. Can I tell you something that I haven't told anyone?
If you're comfortable telling me, yeah.
The situation that I was summoned under was strange. The ritual that was used to summon me was all sorts of complicated. I understand now it was meant to tie me and Goro together because Ichiro wanted me around to complicate the Dao clan, but when I was alive, I didn't have this flower. I never wore it. Whenever I was summoned, it's the only thing that I was summoned with that I wasn't familiar with. And every time I've tried to remove it, there's been a voice in the back of my head telling me that some things are worth holding on to. Somebody that... I don't think that they're aware of me. I don't think it's even a living person. I think it's just echoes from somebody from when I was summoned. Someone saying that it's okay that I didn't live a full life, as long as I found something to die for. Somebody had died when I was summoned, clearly. Somebody who hadn't gotten to fully experience life, and somehow they left this with me. I still don't fully understand why. I think I understand how they think now, though. I just wish I could have... I wish that I could have come to this before Goro disappeared.
It's kind of always how it goes, though.
Yeah.
Realize the things that we want to say once it's too late to say them.
Yeah. So, do you think that Diane and Malclips are going to be together after the war?
It'd be real funny if they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want Diane to be happy. I want Malclips to be happy. If they're gonna be happy together, then that's great.
They seem like
But
they
I
would be
don't
good
know.
for each other.
I think so too.
Baby, don't leave me.
What is
Susan,
happening?
no. Susan, no.
And I'm
Baby,
not
Susan, babe, don't leave me.
romantically or otherwise. I'm not an expert on those things. I think they both just need a break, and I think them being around each other could help.
I think that almost all of our group are good for each other. Somehow, in weird ways.
In their cases, it just seems like she needs somebody not imposing around her, and he needs something exciting in his life. Maybe something that he doesn't want to fix.
Yeah.
Malclips is attracted to problems.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really pay close enough attention to it because I was kind of focused on how my brother had a big honking crush on her. So yeah, but that hasn't worked out. So you know, who's to say?
Carrie, I'm gonna need you to wingman me right real quick.
I don't know. In watching him, I think that whole experience has taught them both a lot about themselves. I've only been with you a short time, but I think even if things don't look like they're working out between them, and I don't know, I'm not good with relationships, but me
neither? Don't worry about it.
It seems to me like through their various interactions, they've learned a lot about their own weaknesses and strengths.
I get that. Malatips is a very charming and handsome man, don't you think, Susan?
Good job.
I'm gonna be honest, you're all very attractive people.
It's really gross. It's almost like an artist can't draw ugly people or something.
It's almost like they're very talented. And we're
Quick, tell her how much money I have. I'm kidding.
It's not something I ever really focused on in my life. I wasn't interested in romance, and as far as fashion goes, I made what I had to wear, and then cared more about living by my sword than I did about how I looked, so...
Izzy's just like, are you sure? Because you look outstanding.
Oh my god!
Oh, so funny. Susan, I mean, you got a lot in common.
Yes, I realized that whenever I was listening to your brother talk earlier. Can I offer you some advice?
Sure, I can't promise I'll take it, but you can offer it to me.
It can be very painful to be chastised by someone that you care about. Very, very painful. And it can seem like they're dismissing you or talking down to you. And I'm gonna be honest with you. That is how it felt to me. But it's not what he means. I felt the same way about Castor. And I jumped to conclusions, and it led me down a very dark path. I think that you're both very abrasive people at your cores, and if you want him to tolerate you, I think you have to tolerate him. Plus, not so many people are lucky enough to have someone that they are so permanently connected to know that they're not going to be alone. I know you're not going to walk off and kill yourself. Not like I did. But just make sure you don't do anything as similarly dramatic.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is the most upset I've been at him in like a really long time, but it happens. Like, we're siblings. We fight. We make up. We get over it. We fight again. Whatever, I might need a little more time than I normally would need for this one. I guess.
Take all the time you need. Just make sure that after your anger subsides, you're not so proud that you can't return to how things were.
Yeah. I will take that advice. And with that, I'm gonna
Yo, second piece of advice. You want to make out, though?
Yo, we should.
Yes!
Nobody tell David.
No one tell David.
Careless whisper intensifies.
No.
Fucking David
You know what
finds
would make
out.
us making out even better? If you could invite Sun Archer somehow.
Hold on, I'm reaching out to her through our hating each other.
And
ways.
Malik,
You'll make things even better. You invite Sun Archer, then you leave and go make out with Malik.
No, 1 second.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah,
1
then
second.
you
I'll
go
just
While I make out with Sun Archer.
Here, on summoning that Sun Archer note. 1 second.
Okay.
I lived right. Wall explodes. Sun Archer's in there.
You're wrong, bitch!
Manners are stupid. You know, in a weird way, their dynamic is like an ancient feudal version of the differences between Ian and Isla.
I love it!
But, yeah, so she'll let you go. Bathing happens. She stays in there for a while. As you go, she continues to seemingly softly
cradle that flower in her hands at one point, as Yuli slowly lowers it into the water and just lets it drift along the surface.
And Geese says, like, help, I can't swim. Help.
Help. Help.
Help. Help.
Would I have enough time to try to make the potion for the male eclipse?
I'll be nice to you and say yes.
Yay! Even between the fucking agony of mutating.
If you say you're in agony, then if you tell me you're in so much agony that you can't do it, then I'll agree. If you tell me you want to do it, then
it's slight discomfort. No,
there
it's
you
fine.
go.
It's slight
All right,
discomfort.
cool. Fucking, why are you trying to talk yourself into a fucking corner?
I thought it would have been funny, but
It
this
would
is
be funny,
important.
but you're trying to accomplish something.
Like in pain briefly, like as you're like in bed.
Yeah.
My sixth toe, maybe?
Question mark? My whatever this mutation is that I'm getting?
My huh?
Just on mute right now.
All right. So, that is more than enough for everyone's downtime, I think. Apart from the person who's normally the most chatty during these things hasn't talked. Yo, Lancer, you're not doing anything?
Lancer, you're not doing anything?
No.
Lancer, don't you fucking dare. Unless you want a wingman for me. I'm kidding.
You hear a door slam downstairs as Lancer gets in the bed.
It's not even going anywhere. He just walked downstairs, grabbed a door, opened it, and slammed it.
That's a very Lancer thing.
This door. I hate this door.
I mean, Lance, if you
I
want to
did-
go up and talk to her and wingman for me, you totally can.
You just hear Diane from above the like,
I don't
don't
even know what
break
you're
my
talking
house.
Don't break my
house.
fixable house.
Don't-
Oh.
It just fixes itself. and
Break
it's like,
my
"Ah!"
house that when it disappears will come back perfectly normal.
Lancer does a whole lot of that. He stands very still watching all of this shenanigans happen, and then when they disperse, he goes up and thinks to himself about stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Also, Logan, I minus the monies for the
Fucking Suzume's there being like, I wish I had more time to talk to him about how he really felt. And I'm just like, I wish I had more time to punch him more in his face.
I'll fucking beat him.
I want Castor back. To beat him to death.
So I couldn't kill him.
Call me a child, I'll fucking child him.
Ooh, the hermit that lives in the fucking forest and hates fighting wants to tell me how to be a king. Fuck off!
Fucking Lancer.
Hey Lancer, I think that's you being a child. Being all
Okay.
huffy and puffy. Just doing that little face.
But, yeah, so you guys finish your rest. You guys come to the end of it. So the potion of climbing was made. Ian, what was the other potion you made? I was waiting to confirm it just to see if Isla would actually make the climbing potion.
Oh, the thing I made forged like in general. I made a supreme healing potion.
Okay, did you keep it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just mark down.
Yeah, I already had it on my sheet, so I just checked off one of the boxes on.
Okay, so
my
you have
actions tab,
you
and I
have
minused
one of
off the
those.
money.
Okay, and you have one of those currently total, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right, so in that case, that's all done. You guys wake up the next morning. It is currently, well, when I say next morning, I actually mean you wake up at 4 p.m. What do you guys want to do?
Scream mostly. Because it feels like my blood is on fire.
Wake up,
Same.
eat food. We have a war to win.
I wake up, I hear screaming,
So-
I hear both of them screaming. It's like, oh, they're working things out.
You get coming into the main room. Actually, can I get a perception check from just literally everyone?
Yay!
Also, I want to know, did my screams wake up David?
I'm gonna say no.
Sleeps like a baby.
Oh, geez, nice.
I'm gonna take an 18.
Anyone that gets over a 15 on this will have heard it. Everybody
I'm gonna
roll.
take an 18.
Oh my god! It's just everyone except, yeah, you too. All right. During the night, and again, I'm not opening this up for people to do stuff about it. Just during the night, you guys heard from one of the lower floors of the ski resort. You would have heard a creak. You would have heard a slamming sound. What sounded like an "hey," and then a thud. And it would have jostled some of you awake at one point, but beyond that, you guys didn't hear anything.
Oh my god.
Except
I
for
can't believe.
except for Ian, who was just tuckered.
Aw.
He's had a day.
Other painful
Who
things.
beat up Sterling?
So
You think beat up Sterling.
Suzume.
So, you guys wake up in the morning. You guys come into the main area. You find Sterling. You find. Well, all right. So what are you doing then?
Oh god damn it! All right.
Describe to me how you wake up.
All right. Wake up. I want to wake up David.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And she's gonna look like really fucking upset and be like, "I need to talk to you about a thing."
I'll sit down.
I have a penis now.
That's what this guy.
What was I worried about?
Logan, I'm sorry. I need to do this.
I've been sitting yesterday on Sid's stream. I was like, oh, I'm just so anxious that I want to start Vestige in November, but I don't know if there's gonna be enough stuff for the next 6 games. What the fuck was I worried about?
You don't gotta worry about that, boy.
I stayed asleep. Thank
no,
you very much.
you did, and that's fine. It's just. I love the roleplay stuff. I'm just so like, yeah, I'm bad at predicting how long games take.
Okay, good. Okay, don't make me feel bad about it. Okay, good.
So,
Oh,
what happened? Did something happen in the night?
Yeah, did you heard, huh? You heard the thing? Yeah, okay.
I heard you talking to Malaclips and you wouldn't shut the fuck up while I was trying to sleep.
Okay, well, I'm not going to apologize for that because I was actually really nice and that meant a lot to me. I thought it was the other thing, the painful thing that was happening.
A painful thing? What happened?
So...
Did he hit you?
Did he hit you?
No, I didn't.
I'll go. I'm gonna defend your honor.
So, first of all, I don't need you to defend my honor, okay? I can do that myself. Second of all,
Oh, thank God,
no,
I
he
didn't
didn't hit me. I don't want to fight Malaclips, I'm scared of Malaclips.
Dude, have you seen his sword?
It just makes me think that there's so much beauty in the world every time I see his sword.
God, I hate it.
Fucking
So anyway, what happened?
So you know that thing that like I have that where like poison doesn't affect me, and I kind of
yeah
that I kind of thought that happened to me because of the alchemy stuff. But upon further reflection, it's probably because of the demon stuff.
Oh.
And
Okay.
a new thing happened to me last night. Like clearly, she's like gesturing to her body.
Do I notice anything about it?
Does he?
Nope.
What's wrong with it?
I-
You look normal.
What?
You look normal. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
this-
You look normal to me.
No. This huge thing happened to me, and you didn't even notice?
What are you
you
talking about?
serious?
What is it?
You know what? If you didn't notice that this happened to me, clearly you weren't paying close enough attention before, and she's gonna storm downstairs.
All I'm saying, Isla, is you don't need a man that don't pay attention to your body.
What? What? I asked you if I noticed anything.
Now you know who would pay attention to your body. There's a lovely
This is sabotage.
There's a lovely archer girl that could pay attention to your body from 2 miles away.
This is sabotage. This is bullshit.
Ella walks downstairs. Lance is like, "Oh, you look different."
What?
He's just like, he doesn't even notice anything. He just heard the conversation. He's like, no, I noticed. Okay, so then you come.
She seems fine.
So then you come to the main area. Is anybody else waking up in a particular way?
So whenever I woke up, I went downstairs. That's all I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to go get coffee.
Assuming you all come into the main area, Sterling already has his like winter gear on, and he already has his backpack. He's like, okay, so I'm ready to go. You immediately notice anyone entering the room that he very much has a black eye.
Ooh.
You
That's a
got
nice shiner.
you got a little
yeah,
something
real
there.
quick.
Do you?
Yeah.
Real quick, what were you doing?
I was gonna say, friggin' Ian's hair's just matted with sweat, and he's got kind of a 1,000-yard stare going on.
Oh no, the boy. Cool.
Sits down
man.
at the table.
You just walk over, hand me a potion, sit down. What happened?
Sterling
to
just
you?
like looks at you.
You too.
What happened to you? What happened to what happened to people last night? I apparently missed a lot.
Some stuff happened. Gestures to myself clearly.
What
Do I
the
notice
hell
anything?
So, as you say, what happened? Sterling just starts up like,
Yeah, so I went to the bath last night after everyone cleared out.
as this happens, a cup just is set down out of nowhere on a table on the other side of the room, and he just looks at it, and it's like louder than it should. And he's like,
And I slept.
I love Suzume! Passive aggressiveness to the max.
What?
What happened?
He slept.
I slipped.
Oh, you slipped and fell.
Yeah, I thought you said slept as well.
Oh, no, that came later.
Huh. Slippery floors.
No, I went to the bath and it was just really slippery in there, and
he's just like looking at the cup that was just put down.
and I slipped on the floor.
Yeah, gotta be
Yeah.
careful with all the soap.
Malaclips is just like, I didn't remember seeing him, but oh no.
I was also gonna fucking come over.
He's
to
just
Malcolm
like,
and give
as
him
he's
a
like
push.
making like fucking more copies, like I didn't remember him being with me, and yeah.
I was gonna have like a huge grin on her face as she gives Malaclips the potion that she made for her.
Malaclips is disappointed. He could have had a black eye. I'm kidding.
Gotta get punched in the face by Suzume,
I
God!
just want to get stepped on by Suzume, you know? Have her run me over.
Ian will also give you the speed potion.
Oh, thanks, you two.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, what the fuck is going on?
Are you okay? Something's different.
What?
Okay.
Has something changed?
I don't know.
You seem really panicked for some reason, David.
Yeah, you're flipping your shit. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to hear that from any of you.
Whiskey's in the second cabinet.
Thank you.
So-
You seem to be freaking out, Ian. What happened to you? Because something apparently happened to Isla as well.
I'll be right back.
you guys decide what you want to do with your morning. I'll
Apparently.
be right back.
Is it obvious? Can anyone else see it?
No.
See?
I'm just gonna
Diane,
like see that like there's something weird going on, and Malaclips is just gonna be like, he's not gonna say whether he sees anything or not.
I mean, I'm not dating Diane. I don't expect her to pay close attention to me like you're supposed to. Like, God.
But there was nothing physically different. Are you talking emotionally? Is there something emotionally different? Because I was just waking up and I couldn't read it. You look lovely, by the way.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Ian, you don't
That-
look like you had a great morning. You want to get in a bath again? Your hair.
That
Yeah. You look
that
like
might-
you just
that might
stepped
be a
out
good
into a
idea.
storm.
Okay, I'm back.
We
So what
still
do you
don't know what's wrong with the two.
So what are you doing with your mornings?
Standing
Trying to
around
figure out what happened.
gawking at each other, apparently. Eat food
Tell
and
me
the
what
Lord will win.
happened.
I don't care about your personal squabbles.
Yeah, so apparently we can't see what's changed about either of you. I'm curious, so pray tell.
You.
Is it a haircut thing? Did you change your hair? Is that it? No? Okay, I'm drinking.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking Isla. Are you talking?
No, it's fine. I'm
talking
drinking
about
my coffee.
Oh,
Both of us.
oh, sorry. There was some. I can't be certain until I run some tests, but there may have been some changes.
Puberty?
Did not have the best night. I'm just gonna test something real quick. I root around in my bag and pull out a vial that clearly has just a big old X, like a skull and crossbones on it.
Don't
So this is something that I've invented called propane. 1 second.
And I just like take a sip of it.
Ah! What? What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, Ian!
All right.
I thought everything was fine.
You take a second, you feel a grumble in your stomach, and you burp up like a little tiny puff, just like a little green puff, just.
Alright. My hypothesis seems to hold water. Excellent.
Okay, you got
Isla, is that normal?
Yeah,
Isla.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the same thing that I have. He's not poison doesn't affect him anymore. It's all good.
Okay, congratulations. Then what was that sounds
Too
internal
bad,
to me.
Ian, that actually that was acid, which is different. 46 acid damage.
I know what's in.
And then there's Isla's thing.
Yeah.
Ridiculously obvious, and I don't really want to talk about it.
Definitely.
What are you talking
ridiculous.
about?
It's yeah, definitely obvious.
Sean, what the fuck?
I just don't want to get in trouble.
You're damn right. See, he sees it. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, see it or not, Isla, I
Damn.
hope you know that we all
What are you
support
seeing?
and love you.
What are you saying?
Start eating food, I will make you food. And you
You
don't
know
want
how-
that.
Hold the phone. Just Lancer,
You know what?
how to
I would
cook?
say what it is, but I should make food, like Lancer said. I'm gonna go make food.
Yeah, let's just.
I'm gonna help with that. That sounds like a good idea. Fuck. You're on your
not
own,
look
David.
at the repulsive thing that's changed about me. Okay, let's just.
Oh
let's
my
just eat.
god, I hate you so much.
I looked at Isla, looked at David, like, you really can't tell?
What?
Okay.
Ian, tell me now!
Smile.
This is almost as bad as when Castor kept dispelling all of his spells. This is great.
Why won't anyone tell me?
Because
got
you're an asshole who doesn't see it.
What am I looking at? What am I supposed to be looking at?
To be fair, I got a good look at her whole body last night, and I didn't notice anything.
Suzume's
That's
just being kind. You're just
that's
being
weird,
sweet
but
to
see,
Suzume.
she didn't notice
I'm
anything.
just gonna gulp while I'm cooking.
She's just being sweet. She obviously noticed. She's a servant. She knows.
What?
You see Suzume's eye turns a deep red, and like the starlight texture of it looks like the stars are almost like pulling in, as if they're like moving towards the center of her eye, as if there's like a black hole devouring a night sky, and she just looks at you, and you feel uncomfortable, Isla. And then it stops, and her eye doesn't glow anymore, and she's like, "Oh."
Oh, what is O?
Yeah, she.
What is O?
You get it.
No, what? No, tell me, please.
Oh.
I'm so fucking lost.
Is that directed at Isla or Suzume?
Everyone! I'm so lost. Someone tell me what's going on.
I'm losing my fucking mind here.
If you really can't see it, David, maybe you should ask Isla. Maybe you should beg.
I've been asking Isla.
Maybe you should beg Isla to tell you.
Yeah, David.
I mean, if you can't see it, then you should probably beg.
Oh, this is
On your knees.
There's a part of me that just has Malchus looking over at Suzume like I totally don't know, but I'm sure that she probably knows I don't know.
I think we all know you don't.
Except for David. He rolled a fucking 13 on his insight.
Which I should have had advantage on, because I know your tell. Son of a bitch.
That's the suck.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Oh, I'm not begging. No.
You don't
not
have
here.
to. Okay.
Then tell me what it is. Tell me what happened. Please.
It's really upsetting that you can't see.
What am I not saying.
Isla, you're gonna make
So-
me cry. Come on.
Unless you intend to tell him, perhaps the bit is best left for
Yeah, we
now.
should move on. Yep. Yep.
This is becoming more than what it is.
You
I
bastards.
think you're gonna give Spencer a stroke if you don't tell him.
So, what's your game plan, guys?
Eat, and then start getting ready to
Yeah.
Yeah.
head toward wherever Sterling was gonna go.
Cool. All
What's a
right.
good roll for making food? Let's see here. Shifts
Wisdom.
awkwardly. Let's go for that. I'm kidding. What was that?
Wisdom.
Okay. Just wisdom, no skill?
Yeah, just wisdom. I mean, like,
'Cause
if you
I'm
had,
helping
you have,
him- Can I
okay,
take
if you want to take advantage, yes. I'm not going to slow us up to get into the semantics of a cooking check.
Nope.
Wow.
Neither was very good. Well, if it was a skill, it'd be a much higher roll, and I'd think the cooking was a skill, but that's fine.
Guys, I made some really good beans.
Yeah,
Some
man.
delicious beans.
So, guys, you eventually, let's say you get up, we'll say a half hour goes by total with you guys doing whatever you're doing. So it's 4:30 currently. You guys leave the mansion and you find yourselves back in the back of the area. I'm gonna call for another group perception check, and I'll send you guys the roll here real quick. This is probably gonna be really easy to beat, but I want to ask for it anyways.
What kind of perception?
Sight-based.
Shoot.
Actually, we'll say hearing-based as well, because part of this would definitely be. Boop. Okay, guys, answer that roll request.
Hiya!
Bam.
Can I take an 18 if it's below 18?
Also, David, gain an inspiration because birthday, and someone got a nat 19. Brr, 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 brr.
Hooray!
That is Suzume's
If I'm
gift to
below
you.
an 18, can I take an 18?
Yes.
Thanks, Suzume.
But you didn't have below an 18. When you guys come out, you see, you can tell that it's still not that bright outside. It's brighter than it was, but it seems like it's perpetually dusk, even though it's the middle of the day. But the little bit of light that's outside, the tiny bit of light, you notice appears to be piercing through what appear to be a series of very small holes that have been carved into the tarp that is now covering the zoo. And they're numerous, as if hundreds of about baseball-sized objects had flown through the top, but you don't see anything on the ground around, and it doesn't seem damaged in any way.
Huh.
What happened here?
What is happening? I am so confused.
We need to move. Where are we going, Sterling?
I guess ignoring that. We just need to go north for a bit. My dad's notes, they left a bunch of landmarks that will point us towards it. And then there's a part of it looks like an old mining shaft that's been completely closed off, but all the boards and stuff, they're just an illusion that was put in place. You can, if you know that they're not real, you can literally just walk straight through them.
If there's any way we can help you look for anything, let us know, but lead the way, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
You guys hear this very low sound building in the distance.
I will very much stay beside him to make sure nothing goes on with him.
Rising up
Keeping my
into
eyes out.
No!
Oh yeah!
Now tell me something, children.
A slight smile goes across Maleklitz's face.
Are you not going to be heading straight for the Holy Grail? I had assumed that would be the first thing on your list to do after the untimely demise of Castor.
I
little
actually
busy.
agree with him there.
If we go there, then Saber won't be there. I think it's best for you to deal with him.
And what makes you think that we have any interest in dealing with Saber?
Because as long as Saber's there, then you can't have what you want.
Ooh. Somebody is making a whole bunch of assumptions. And you know what they say about assumptions?
Or I'm talking out my ass.
Let's see. Malaclips, you would actually be able to see that up on the edge of it, over yonder, you see the tarp over there rips off, and you see everybody's favorite boy, the Boozle.
I pull the blade immediately.
Oh no.
Eric's in the chat, and he's just like, yeah!
So happy. What a good boy.
Heck, in 1 second. You see Boozle sitting, like, as it's ripped off, and you see the snow outside's picked up a bit. As the bit of tarp where he is fluttering in the wind, he just sits on top of the wall to this place, looking down. Hello! Been quite a while! Last time we met, we were... Oh, what were we doing? You were attending a party that you were not invited to. I believe.
Immediately pulls out my sword.
Please! I only came here to see if you had any plans of actually fighting the Holy Grail War.
How far away is he?
He's about 30 feet up where he is.
Okay. Cool.
You see, this delicate stage of the war, with only about 3...
He, like, regards where Suzume is. He starts walking along the edge over towards you guys, like tiptoeing and spinning as if he was a ballerina along the top.
At this stage where there's only 3 proper servants remaining in the war, the Grail will have turned itself into a form that can't be used, but can be defended. So Quantavius had prepared for this. Can you guess what he's been doing?
Why don't you tell us?
Whatever it is, it doesn't sound very good.
Oh, no. One of you has first-hand knowledge of what he's been doing. The gathering of demon parts, the formation of bases where he conducted large-scale rituals, the stealing of organs and human blood.
He, like, points over to Malaclips.
You should know. You thwarted one of them.
Oh.
He's just like, no.
There were 3 facilities similar to the one that you broke into with your friends, Malaclips. You may have thwarted that summoning ritual, but 2 other great demons came forth, ready to claim a world where demons could reign over mankind. Those demons have now been set loose. And they are no ordinary demons, Malaclips. They are things that could surpass even servants. But don't take my word for it. I am but a humble jester. Instead, you can take it from the great Demon Lord, Byoki!
As he says this, the tarp tears off the entirety of the zoo. And Amma... Doop-a-doop. Boop.
Someone get me to that fucking skeleton.
You want to fly, Malaclips?
I want to kill him so bad.
Oh my god, dude.
And you guys see this hovering above the tarp. As it is revealed against like dusk, red light pouring in behind it down to where you guys are, you guys just detect this ungodly stench.
Byoki, Demon Lord of Decay, and I, of course, were sent to ensure that you would not be making it to the Grail itself. This will be my last performance, I'm afraid. With the Demon Lord summoned, my services are no longer required by your dear daddy. So, do try to entertain me!
And we're gonna end there.
Bad time.
And we're gonna stop there.
Shit. That thing is up my alley for Elder Tour. I
Yo, it's
into
fucking
it.
scary.
Oh, there's a.
This is gonna be. Fucking
But what about the
great.
scene where me and Suzume smooch?
Oh man.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen while we all parade down to beat up the little star spawn
Yeah.
in the side area, and we're gonna find Yormir, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm Yormir. What's up?" We're gonna be like, "Hi," and then everything would be okay, and everyone's just gonna wait, and the Holy Grail War.
And then Gael comes back, and
Yormir's like, by the way, I heard you guys were looking for the Grail. I happen to have it right here. Quantavius is already dead and taken care of.
All the other incinerators are for some reason.
Neat.
Did we mention Ellis is back and we don't have to use a Grail for that?
Hooray!
So enjoy Byoki, Mother of Decay.
I won't. Thanks.
There were three things that I'd set up. The Quantavius was like doing large-scale summoning rituals, and they were totally available to be found. And you guys in the Incinerator campaign, you stopped one of them, the big old Akuma spawn. The other two, happened.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
It's great.
I'm glad we got I'm glad we got our session.
You know what I said? I didn't think there'd be enough experience to level you guys. I still believe that, but since you've chosen to still go after the Sterling stuff, absolutely. I don't even know. Maybe there will be. Who knows?
Oh, heck yeah.
If you survive.
Ridiculous.
In most campaigns, Byoki here would be on the level of like a campaign-ending boss. So have fun.
But the big problem is, like, again, once we get done with this, and it's gonna be really weird to still go after the Sterling stuff because we know he has another one of these out there.
I'll leave that to you guys to talk about for 4 hours next game.
Hard. It's so hard.
I'd like to state that I give you guys a hard time for the amount of time you spend role playing, but it is actually like my favorite. As a DM, like and as a mind, my favorite part is the battles and setting up conflicts. But as one of the players at the table and as the person that writes it, the narrative stuff you guys do is my favorite part. So fucking take me giving you shit with a grain of salt. Carrie recently told me she felt bad about it, and I was like, fucking stop caring what I think. I give you guys a hard time about nonsense things. I don't mean half of it.
Next up, we'll fight Yagathok, the Ceaseless Hunger.
Well, yeah, Logan. Like when you say that though, how come you're not? How come you didn't give me my makeout scene with Susan?
Why don't you love me, Daddy?
I don't know.
Daddy.
Who's to heckin' say?
Let me in, Daddy.
I will say, because today is a very specific day, if you do host/raid anybody, I recommend Philosophy Tube because they have 41 hours left in their stream. They are 97.5% of the way over their goal to raise. Is that $50,000? Yes, that's $50,000 for the Samaritans, a charity that helps people in crisis situations, and they're reading all of Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this. Yeah, we'll definitely raid them. We're gonna run credits here in a second. Anybody who wants to get into the credits, as always, leave a sub or bits or a follow or basically anything that interacts with the stream that's above a comment will get you in there. So we're gonna run those here in a sec, and I don't know, heckin'. So just FYI, we could not, as of this exact moment, we could not be more in the end game. Like.
Yeah. This is
everything from here on is going to be me using what Quantavius has prepared to try to fucking murder you guys. So,
until we go over to the other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so sad the twins are gonna die before they have the chance to make up.
Dude, right?
That'll bring you back in a hellish world where no one who is alive can oppose you.
I'm also twins gonna die without finding out what mutation.
Cue Doctor Strange here. Cue Doctor Strange here.
I'm so happy.
We're in the end game now.
I'm so happy that David rolled insight and got lower than my deception.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like I immediately, like when I rolled it, I was like, I should have had advantage. Nah, this is fun.
We can say that it wasn't advantage because you were flustered, maybe.
That's true. That's true. It's just like, what is going on?
That is. There were a lot of favorite moments in this session for the campaign.
I'd like to remind everybody that even though the characters fight sometimes and it seems venomous, we're all friends and we all love each other.
Oh yeah, no, we're so
I hate everybody.
I mean,
Shut up. You know we're good. You love this shit.
Fucking
I
yeah.
live for this shit.
Deco's just like a hardcore improv actor, like he's super method, so he just like he plays Malcolm's being like, "There's good in everything." Then after we hit stop, he just takes a cigar, leans back, he's just like, "Fucking ray of sunshine."
Me, I wouldn't be here.
Goddamn naive pussy.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Y'all are
Don't these
implying.
kids know I'm too old for this?
I purposely gunned her. I
Yeah.
purposely gunned to hurt Izzy's feelings every week.
Wow.
And now you can
like,
fucking actually just kill him with power
I'm
word.
kidding. I'm
That
kidding.
along with the foot. Hey, they made their goal just now after
Really?
someone donated $666 and
Holy
then someone
shit.
$694. I feel like that's been the last like 20 hours for them because they've been going for a hot minute.
Oh damn.
Jesus.
I know the actual dude who runs the channel. I believe they had an intermission, and he's just asleep, and they have someone else running it while he's resting.
I hope you guys. I wonder if you guys will manage to kill Boozle this time, because
I certainly would like
if you
to.
That is
do,
my main goal.
if you do, he's done. Boozle only existed as long as he had a purpose, and as long as his master wanted him to keep coming back. And when you guys first met him, he was like, "I'm here to oversee the rituals. That's all I'm here for." So he's mortal now.
Man,
Oh,
I
we can
really...
get him. We can get him.
As soon as Boozle showed back up, Malaclips just immediately remembered fucking them being by themselves, Boozle fucking with him being like, "There's nothing I can do because I'm so weak," and now he's like, looks to his sword, looks to Boozle, not again.
Oh. All right. Now we just need y'all need to like keep them occupied for like a minute, which is 10 rounds, while I cast Foresight on Lancer.
You know what?
Perfect.
You know what's
Oh,
funny?
it takes a minute to do.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Takes a minute.
You know what's actually funny though?
What's it?
The fact that the very first game Malaclips came in was a game where Boozle showed up.
Yeah. Hey, Void Namer, just to your question, Byoki is actually, as the art implies, as it's clearly not done by Vin, Byoki is from the Heroes of the Orient stuff. A lot of Quantavius's background stuff I took from the Heroes of the Orient, because it's not really balanced for a normal game, any of that content, but it's surprisingly fitting for what I knew would be endgame content with servants around. So, from here on, there's going to be a lot of Heroes of the Orient stuff showing up.
Oh boy.
Yep, Byoki is one of the Oni lords from the Heroes of the Orient. I've made some changes to it just to adjust it for the setting, but that's what it is. I'm gonna go through the credits once more, and then once more after this. So if anyone wants to get in, heckin' throw a bit at me. Do it.
Boys.
Do it.
Don't make me
Throw 1
beg.
cent
I'll
at
beg. Please give me a bit.
Single cent.
Unlike David.
You're gobbling.
Unlike David, he will beg.
Oh, I'm gonna get him to beg.
Oh, I'll get him a bit.
Fucking that went on long enough, Lance. We're just gonna pick up David and start walking towards the damn church.
I completely agree with Lancer, but I'm also going to laugh if you do try to go there right now, just purely there's reasons. Everything makes sense and it's great, and I'm very happy, and I'm not going to say anything.
That the voices in my head stopped
Okay.
one day.
Oh.
They never did.
Look at all you guys being like, "I'm happy with you guys. You guys are all good. We like each other." I'm just sitting here like,
What?
I can't wait to rip your hearts out.
I got to do some in-depth RP today.
Awesome. Logan.
Like, I don't mean like rip your hearts out. Like, I don't care if you're sad. I mean rip your characters' hearts out of their bodies.
Heck yeah.
Alright, cool, yeah, I'm about it.
That's
Go
what I
for
can't wait for.
David.
I've been talking about that the past couple weeks because like some people have been like, "Wow, Logan's really trying to kill David," and I've been like, Diane buffs everyone, and fucking David just passes out heals like they're candy. Everything wants them dead.
Like, dude, we went down so fast without them while we were in the fucking thing with Caster. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
like,
Malaclips
first
got
round went
KO'd first round.
yeah, dude. Like, oof.
I did my best, okay?
Those rounds took a long time.
So many heals to throw out.
It's true.
There was a
You're
lot
all
of
just
talking in
straight
between them.
chilling.
Yeah.
A lot of trying to convince Setsuko to do things. Anyways, we've run the credits through. We'll see you guys next week. And by the way, just a warning for those watching not on YouTube. Next week will be the last Solar Shadow game for like half a month when Carrie goes to Scotland.
All right.
But
Carrie!
but we will try to do something to fill the space. I'm hoping to run a very brief Pathfinder 2 game if I learn enough of the system by then, just to play with it.
Also,
next
week is technically like the 31st of August. That's the twins' birthday.
Oh.
Do we get the inspiration rule because it's the twins' birthday?
No, not because it's the twins' birthday.
Bitch.
Your birthday.
But they're gonna be like,
what?
what?
You wouldn't even let me have anything for it being my in-game
The system's
birthday.
not great. That's cool. It's cool. The thing is, anytime a popular system comes out, there's always two very vocal sides. Some people being like, I'll die by it, and other people being like, it sucks. It's new, and it'd be fun to try to play it for ourselves. Whether or not it's good really is something we'll walk into.
I'm wholly ambivalent to it. People were talking about that yesterday on stream. The way I look at it, when 5th edition came out, like, I literally watched a bunch of people, including people whose opinions I was actually pretty about for D&D, be like, this fucking sucks! And I'm like, 5th edition is my favorite.
Yeah, I fucking love 5th edition. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people harping on Pathfinder 2, but I'm like, no harm in trying it in like a brief contained game.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. The only other thing I would do would be run a DCC game, but it's not like we know that one a whole lot better anyways. It's just, those two games are just find something to do.
So how do I put Malaclips in Pathfinder?
If you want to do that, I'll find a way.
Just have it be. I thought I was fighting a demon. What's going on?
One of the Tales of the Yawning Portal or that new Ghosts of Saltmarsh, since those are all relatively small. Probably couldn't do the whole thing, but they're like chopped up into like 4 or 5 like tiny adventures compared to a campaign.
Could make something comparable. Yeah.
Vestige is definitely not Pathfinder 2.
No, no. Pathfinder, fucking Vestige is gonna be 5e. We're pretty.
We're 5e.
We're a 5e kind of group.
Do what Draco said. Just make it an incinerator game.
Yeah, we're.
Yes.
We're a very 5e oriented group. I'm open to see other systems, but we all know it best, and we work well with it, and it's accessible both to watch and to play. Pretty on 5e. Anyways, so that won't be here for this game after 2 weeks. Blah blah blah. The stuff I just said. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. We love you.